Here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
The Seahawks have their most wins since 2013, but are people around the league actually convinced they can win a Super Bowl? I'm talking about people outside of Seattle, obviously. That's what we're talking about today. We're also going to talk about the Seahawks scheduling Week 18, a regular season finale and a battle for the NFC's top seed will happen on Saturday night, not Sunday. It's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Let's get to it. Bump, you want to start backwards, talking about first the scheduling of this regular season finale? How'd you feel about hearing it would be on Saturday night?
That was good.
Yeah?
It's almost like I want to get it over with already. Just let's go play this game.
Jump to it.
Like I'm a coach or a player, right? Like it. I'm just eager. I want to see this, especially after seeing what the 49ers did to the Bears.
Yeah.
Offensively, they look good. Defensively, they got some things they got to work out. But no, I'm good with it.
Curtis, what's the seeding situation for Seattle and San Francisco? Loser faces the NFC East.
Loser's the 6th seed, so they would play the 3 seed,
NFC
which
East.
it could be either the Bears or the Eagles. So you don't want to. I would rather avoid either of those two teams.
Who are the Eagles playing in Week 18? I know the Bears are playing the Lions, and I feel pretty good about the Bears' chances against Detroit. So the Eagles, if
Philly
the Eagles,
has Washington at home,
Right,
so
you're
that's a
playing-
win for the Eagles.
yeah, you're going to play the Eagles in all likelihood.
Bears have Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that this is a Seattle win. Someone said the league is against the Hawks giving them the Saturday game. I don't think that's what happened here. I don't think it has anything to do with Seattle. Personally, I think the league and many sports leagues just have a favoritism towards East Coast teams. And I think that the second that they learned that Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson would be battling for a win and get in situation, loser goes home, battle for the AFC North, you knew that would be Sunday night.
Yeah.
So.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
Everything's not so personal all the time. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We just roll with it.
Yeah, I think it's
We're just Southeast Alaska down here.
Okay, Curtis. Of course.
This is classic East Coast
Open up your eyes,
bias.
sheeple. I mean,
That's
I think
right.
it is definitely a bias. Like, I think that this is absolutely about Aaron Rodgers and legacy. Like, the league chooses what to put there. The league intentionally was like, oh, we think that Sunday night with Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers is just more drama-filled. There's bigger names. There's an audience that we think will watch it fine. Seahawks still got primetime. They got Saturday night.
It's
Would
a
I rather have
primetime
had
game.
Sunday? Yes, I'd rather have had Sunday. But all right, it is what it is. It's 1 day difference. And technically, I think it actually disadvantages San Francisco a little more than Seattle. I know Seattle's on the road and coming back from the East Coast, but San Francisco also had a Monday night, and we're already on a short week.
It is what it is. Sure. Let's line them up. Put the helmets
Yeah,
on, strap it up, watch the film, go to practice. Let's go get it. I see all the angles that you're coming from, but I don't
Yeah.
think these guys care.
All right.
They want to go play some ball.
Oh, hey, speaking of playing some ball and speaking of the 49ers, I was noticing during last night's game, which, by the way, a thriller, defensive questions, but a thriller, tying it up 5 times. You go, Caleb Williams. This one certainly got close. Lots of cool moments. I was noticing that a lot of the conversation afterwards, maybe because it was the 49ers in prime time, was like, oh my God, the 49ers are in line for the 1 seed. They just have to win one more time. How crazy is this? And I was thinking, God, the Seahawks have 13 wins. The Seahawks have 13 wins for the first time since 2013. And I don't know how many people around the league are like convinced they're going to win a Super Bowl.
No, not many. And I think it's because they're second when it comes to giveaways. They have the most fumbles. They have the most batted footballs at the line of scrimmage. Sam Darnold does have, 14 or 15 interceptions, hanging out with Tua.
Yeah,
there's
20 giveaways total from him.
There are some things that you see that deter you from really buying in. But then you look at the defense, the 5th most interceptions, the 6th most takeaways in the game, the 5th lowest yards allowed. I mean, this defense is legit. The identity of this team starts with the defense. And I think that for most people, when they're looking at Super Bowl champions or contenders, they want to start with the offense.
Yeah.
And you look at the Niners, Brock Purdy put up 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. You look at even the Bears. Caleb put up 330.
Your Bears.
My Bears. The human eye loves offense more than defense. So I think that's why they look at the Seahawks and say, they're a good ball club, but, do they have enough offensive power?
I think you are exactly right. I think that we are more convinced by offense in any sport. We love home runs. I mean, defense, obviously a very different beast when it comes to NFL defenses versus like baseball fielding, but still, we're watching last night going, oh my God, what a thriller. What an amazing game, ignoring the fact that the 49ers gave up almost 40 points to the Bears a week after giving up almost 30 points to Phillip Rivers and the Colts, right?
Yeah.
No one cares. No one's talking about that today. And I even texted you guys, full disclosure, I texted Bump and Curtis in our text thread during this game when the Bears were still driving, trying to win it late, and I said, guys, I'm a little nervous. The 49ers offense has been cooking. And you guys both fairly pointed out, yeah, but they're also allowing like 50-plus points over 2 games.
Yeah, they are. And, no Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. They're doing it in a different way. And but it's just more fun to watch. I think people just enjoy those type of games.
I love touchdowns.
I was watching it with my brother at Cut Shop yesterday, and people are going crazy. And there are no Niner fans in there, no Bears fans in there, just people watching football, and they're getting excited about it. So it's natural for people to kind of lean towards a team that puts up more points. And in the way that both of these teams do with the Ben Johnson offense and the Shanahan offense, it's under center, it's play action, you're rolling out. You got Brock Purdy's, I think it was last touchdown throw was amazing. He's rolling to his left. He steps up. He's acting like he's running. He's dropping it off to the left side. Caleb Williams rolling to the left side, tossing a bomb. It's just more fun to watch. So I get it. But when it comes down to it, your team is going to have to get stops late in the game. And that's what I love about the Seahawks is that they gave up 100 million yards against the Rams on Thursday night. But when it was time to get a stop, they got that stop.
I'm glad you pointed that out. I found it very interesting that they gave up the most yards in a single game franchise history. And then the next week, the single longest pass play they allowed was 8 yards.
Yeah.
I know that you're playing Bryce Young this week compared to last week, Matthew Stafford. There's very different caliber of talent that we're talking about here and experience, but still allowing a single long pass play of 8 yards, the longest play of the day from Carolina of 11 yards, and limiting them to under 150 net is wildly impressive. It's an NFL game. I want to get back to your point about offense versus defense. I think you're fundamentally right, but also I would love it if Seattle's offense could have a little more firepower. Can they?
I think they can. I think the Shaheed situation kind of changes things a little bit, even though he hasn't been extremely explosive. He still gives you that threat. I think that what's been hurting the offense is just getting started early. It's like they're waiting for the defense to get the party started before they get going. Defense, give me a short field, and then we can get going, right? You put up 3 points in the first half. You come out your first drive in the second half. You throw an interception. It just feels like we haven't seen this offense just jump on somebody in a long time. But they're more than capable. You have arguably the best receiver in the game. Your run game is finally starting to come around. You got Zach Charbonnet with a $110 and 2 touchdowns. 2 weeks in a row, you have 100-yard rushes. There are indicators that say this offense can do it. The one thing it feels like is holding them back is when Sam Darnold isn't on time. I was talking to Moyer about this yesterday, and when he's on time, when that ball's getting out early, quick, the offense is moving. When he has to go through 3-4 progressions and kind of improvise a little bit, that's where things start to slow down just a little bit. So if he can get better at that, because you saw last night with Caleb and Brock Purdy, they're off-schedule throws, man. They're still making it happen. For some reason, Sam Darnold struggles with that. So if he can just get that confidence back and that playmaker ability off schedule, I think this offense could go.
I think people are having a hard time placing Sam Darnold because in general we have a hard time placing quarterbacks. Like you are either elite or really young and promising or you're not good is kind of where people go. For instance, someone texted in and said Sam Darnold is our Trent Dilfer. When I tell you Trent Dilfer is so much worse than Sam Darnold is this year, like it is possible that Sam Darnold is a very good quarterback who is a little more volatile and shaky, like a Jared Goff, as opposed to someone that you can expect a little more consistency from. Okay, Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. Like, we're all I got so tired yesterday of seeing. Now, I think that the turnover problems Sam Darnold has are frustrating. I do not think Sam Darnold is a bad quarterback, and I don't think this is a bad offense. And I think that people sound not only just like really complainy in general, but really dumb. Like, you sound real dumb when you come out and you say, like, this is an objectively bad offense. It's a frustrating offense at times. It's been inconsistent. But Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. This is a good offense. I don't know what people are doing comparing it to, like, historically bad ones. Just because it's not as good as a very, very good defense. The strength of your team is your defense. It doesn't mean that your offense, like, by virtue of that, is horrible. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Trent Dilfer, what was that, 2000 they won the Super Bowl? Played in 11 games.
1,500 yards.
He completed 59% of his passes, 12 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
What are we talking about?
He's better than Trent Dilfer. But when you have a guy like Matthew Stafford throwing 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, when you have Drake May having the season that he has, people want to compare, and rightfully so. You do that, right? This is your quarterback, and you're looking at these other contenders and saying, all right, can my quarterback be that? No, I don't think your quarterback has to be that either. Because you have one of the best defenses in the game, because they take the ball away, because they give you a short field. There will be a time where Sam has to drive down the field and win a ball game. Guess what? Did that on Thursday. There's going to be a time where he's going to have to put a couple drives together. The last 5 drives of the game yesterday, they scored a touchdown or a field goal. Like, he does it, but does it in a different way. He's like a 7.5. You know what I mean? He's not that 10. The 10 looks great.
But with a great personality.
Great personality. He's good. So at this point, if you can't accept who this team is and who Sam Darnold is, you're just going to be frustrated throughout the rest of the season, the last game, and the playoffs. I've accepted it. I know who Sam is. I know what this team leans on. It's defense first. It's special teams. It's JSN getting 12 targets. This is who they are. Yeah,
if you were to say, Stacy, right now, identify the one thing that might end up costing them in the playoffs, I'd go, Sam Darnold's turnovers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, every team is going to have an Achilles heel. And there are some big defensive questions for other teams around the league that, like Bump said, all of us are ignoring because all of us love offense. A couple more questions here before we get to headline rewrites. I have a ton of people asking about Torrey Horton. What's the latest on Torrey? Do you think that maybe one of the issues with this offense right now is that they could use another weapon?
They could. I mean, they were explosive without him.
That's very true.
Yeah, of course you can use another weapon. Yeah,
Torrey.
13-3 right now. Of course they could use another weapon. You always want more, but we've seen JSN go for 160. We've seen A.J. Barner have 10 catches for 70. We've seen Cooper Kupp have his 5 for 60. So of course you can use another weapon, but I think you're good with what you got.
Question. What if they don't have Rashid Shaheed on Saturday against the 49ers?
I think that hurts special teams more than anything.
Okay.
Because it's different. No disrespect to Cam Akers, but when he got the rock, I had no belief that he was going to take it to the house. When Rashid has the rock, every time I'm thinking this could go.
All right. Well, that is the latest. We're going to get to in headline rewrites a bit more about the scheduling. I know some people are still a little fired up to see the Seahawks playing Saturday instead of Sunday. And we're also pretty Seahawks heavy today in general. So much to get to coming out of Week 17. Still one more game to play in Week 17 with the Rams playing tonight against the Falcons. And then obviously looking ahead to a massive Week 18. Everything on the line. Do you get the bye week? Do you get home field advantage? Or are you hitting the road as the 6th seed? Having a 13-win 6th seed, by the way.
Man, that's just how tough this division is, man.
I'm fully convinced that this year's NFC representative in the Super Bowl is coming from the West.
Most likely.
I mean.
Most likely. Here's the thing.
It's not going to be the Panthers or
Philly's
Buccaneers.
defense looked scary the other day, though. I'm still not counting them out.
Yes, I agree. But there's they have offensive questions too. They've got so much talent and then lots of weirdness. And I've decided I've done like a 180. I used to really like Nick Sirianni, and now he annoys me.
Why? Because he was hooting and hollering in the tunnel?
Yeah, he sure was. And yes, that's why. I have no and you know what? And I can change that at any point. I can decide tomorrow that I like him and no one gets to question me. We're just going to let it happen.
Live your life.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Ravens beat the Packers on Saturday, and the Steelers lost to Cleveland yesterday, so that sets up a winner-take-all Sunday night game for the AFC North title. What's the real headline?
Now, is anyone shocked at all that 2 mid-East Coast teams got Sunday night? The second we knew this battle would be for the AFC North, I was like, they're in Sunday night. They're playing Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. You got Aaron Rodgers over there. You got the Baltimore Ravens. That's crazy that they're still in this fight, 9-7 and 8-8. But it's about the drama. And, yes, they are more – it's Pittsburgh. They're one of the blue bloods of the NFL. It's Aaron Rodgers, 42-year-old, who's getting his team into the playoffs. There's a bit more drama in this one, so I understand it. It don't bother me, though, man. I'm not too caught up on when the Hawks are playing and when they're playing.
We're still TBD on whether or not Lamar's even going to play, right? Or is he like
nothing,
for sure?
Nothing definitive on that.
Yeah, because I'm like, what if there's a world where he doesn't even play?
Huntley, get her done.
Listen, that's a Pro Bowler.
A Pro Bowl, yes.
That's a Pro Bowler.
He's got commercials, too.
I believe he can do it. And DK's suspension, is he still out until the playoffs?
He's out.
Dude, they were missing him yesterday. This offense had some issues.
Headline rewrites.
Speaking of issues, headline number 2, the Raiders are now 2-14 after their blowout loss to the 3-13 Giants. If the season ended today, the Raiders would have the number 1 overall pick. What's the real headline?
If it sounds like a tank and looks like a tank, it might be tanking.
My question is, are they going to let Pete run it back? Right, you got the number 1 pick. Are you going to allow Pete to kind of get this thing going? And then what do you do with that number 1 pick? You're going to get Mendoza from Indiana. You have a quarterback in Geno Smith over there. And I feel like if they were to go get a quarterback, Geno would not like that. And he would let everybody know that he doesn't like that. It's weird over there with the Raiders. I'm watching Pete on the sideline. He looks defeated. They feel defeated. You lost to the dang Giants, man. They're not Raiders are the worst team in football, but you lost to the Giants. It's a weird situation. Let Pete run it back. I want to see if he can actually build a team.
What did you make of the controversy of them telling Max Crosby, allegedly, hey, we're going to sit you for the final 2 games, and then him, I think, intentionally posting to his Instagram a video of him playing basketball, like, look, I can move around pretty good.
Because he's a competitor.
Yeah,
he wants to go out there and play. Yeah, I'm not mad at Max Crosby for that, and I understand why the Raiders would sit him down.
Yeah.
To tank. I just hate the whole concept of tanking. I understand it. There's no reason to go out there and put your best out there and win ball games if you are the organization. If you are the players, there's no way a player's going to walk on the field and not give him his all. So it's just a weird situation, and I ain't mad at Crosby, and I understand what the Raiders are doing.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3. Coaching carousel in college slowing down a little bit. Michigan has hired Kyle Whittingham to be their new head football coach. What's the real headline?
This is an example of using the wrong formula to get the right answer.
This was not on my radar. When I first saw his name pop up, but it made complete sense. After I saw his name, I go, yeah, Kyle Whittingham is one of the most respected coaches in college football. He's gotten Utah to be relevant every single year over there.
For years and years and years.
And I think it's perfect for Michigan. With the mess that old boy left over there, Whittingham's going to clean that thing up. Integrity's going to be installed. And I think Michigan's going to have a great turnaround. The thing that's weird, though, Utah was doing something financially. I forget how to phrase it or whatnot, but they were doing something financially that was going to set all their programs up.
It was like private equity.
Exactly. Thank you. Private equity. It's going to set them up forever. And he left that. But I understand why you're leaving this for Michigan.
Yeah.
But he was going to have a good situation with Utah, too.
My only regret is I did want the chaos of, like, DeBoer lying, going to Michigan. What happens with Bama? What if another big name goes to Bama? And then what? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I was ready for the carousel to be done. I wanted the carousel to go a little faster and get a little crazier.
Did.
Yeah.
Reality TV.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the part of me that loves Real Housewives. Salt Lake City, finally back tomorrow. The part of me that loves reality TV was like, well, I don't know. What if DeBoer made a statement but then goes back on it and goes to Michigan? That could be fun. That could make for a thrilling dinner conversation. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's where fights always happen in reality TV, in a restaurant.
DeBoer must have been legit because I think they're going to lose Indiana, and Michigan could have waited. And he's like, "Are you sure? You sure about this, DeBoer?"
Yeah.
But no, I think he's standing 10 toes down, standing on business, and said he wants to be with Bama.
Let's get back to the text line a little bit because I have some more stuff in here from people. Someone said, I disagree. This offense, we were talking about why people were doubting the Seahawks or maybe why people weren't more confident in the Seahawks. And Bump, you made the point that, like, because the defense is really, really good and the offense isn't as good as other offenses, and we tend to pay more attention to great quarterback play and touchdowns. But that the offense is still good. Someone said this offense should be better. It needs to be better. Sam is very limited. He can't scramble. Poor vision. Zero deep threat. I don't agree with that. And turnovers, I do agree with that. Kubiak seems to not have him roll to his left to throw. I don't know about that analysis.
That's a lot of assumptions right there. And no disrespect to the person who made those comments. There are things that defenses do to limit what Sam can do. He does have a deep ball. Jason's the best deep crosser in the game. But when you keep two safeties over the top, it's kind of like when Russ was killing it, right? Back in that year where he came out hot for the first 4 games. What do defenses do? I'm going to run a shell. I'm going to keep things over the top. What else am I going to do? I'm going to blitz the heck out of you and confuse this mediocre offensive line. So, yes, Sam has some bad situations at times. I agree 100%. But it ain't all on him. It ain't all on him. And I think this offense is good enough to win. Which offense is better, the Niners or the Seahawks? What do you think?
Right now, Niners.
Niners, yeah. 12 more yards a game. Hawks are scoring 2 more points than them. It just looks different, and that's what it is. There was no real rhythm yesterday until the end of the game. And when you don't feel that rhythm, I think people jump to a bunch of conclusions. He can and should be better at times, but there are things defenses are doing to jack things up.
Well, we all do the thing, and I was doing it last night, which is going, oh my God, can the Seahawks offense, with what we've seen over the last several weeks, keep pace with this shootout that the Bears and 49ers are in? And it's like, well, hang on a minute. They're not scoring as easily against the Seahawks defense compared to against each other. There was a point Curtis made in the thread where we were all talking. Also, I do agree with this person, and this is what I do wonder. They said there's a legitimate question if Sam Darnold can go 3 or 4 games versus playoff quality opponents and not make enough mistakes to lose a game. I have the exact same question. I agree with you 1,000%. I will say this, though, and I'm finding myself trying to be like, okay, what do I do with this information is what I've been thinking about all day. The Seahawks have 8 turnovers on offense in their last 5 games. Their record in those last 5 games? 5-0.
5-0.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information. I don't know.
Rams better offense, right? Rams have a better offense.
Yeah.
Hawks score more points than them. Average 1 less point than them again. I mean, I'm just saying, I get the concerns, but to say that this offense isn't good enough to win it all, I think is wrong. But there are some things that I would like to see improve.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I've got good news for the Seahawks offense. That's coming up next.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
Seahawks are going to play for the NFC West title, the #1 seed, and the first-round bye.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers, Saturday. Kickoff at 5. Pregame at 2.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck Macdonald, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes while giving you a head start on 2026. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show. It's the best time to buy. January 30th through February 7th. With big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at SeattleSports.com. With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafeet from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
It's a freezing night, and suddenly your heating dies. A fix could take several days or longer. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, it's on borrowed time. Upgrade now to a dependable Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system and keep your family comfortable. Schedule a consultation today at HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com. And happy holidays to all.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain. And they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I think I've gained 5 pounds.
This past,
like
Christmas?
in the last 5 days.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Been eating whatever?
I think it's just that time of the year, right? Have you?
Probably.
Like, I don't think I've had a vegetable.
Mine ain't from eating, though. It's from that other stuff.
Drinking.
Yeah.
There always comes a time in a holiday weekend, usually like Saturday night, Sunday morning, where you look back and it's like, man, I could really go for a glass of water.
Yeah, that's how I felt yesterday. Yesterday, I had been eating. I was shaking out my travel bag from being at my parents' to see if I had like any candy left in it. Like it was.
Dang,
I was.
You were fiending.
I was not hungry at all. Felt almost nauseous, and I ordered wings.
You DoorDashed them?
Yes.
Dang.
I was like, what am I doing
Pay that
here?
extra $20.
What am I doing? It said wing combo for 2, and I said,
For me.
For just me. You know, when you order and you're like, can I get extra napkins? We'd love some forks. No, I didn't order on the phone, obviously, but they were good wings, and I don't regret any of it, and I hope that everyone else who is finding themselves just real fluffy around the holidays.
I gotta hit that gym tough this week.
Right now, calories, we're existing, and it's fine. This is a safe space. I hope everyone's having a wonderful kind of random week between Christmas and New Year's here. Okay, I have good news for the offense, and I'm going to continue our conversation about the offense for this reason. For the first time all year yesterday, the Seahawks did something. Does anyone want to guess what it was? They did something for the first time all year long.
Alrighty, well, 1, I know, and 2, I'm looking at the show sheet.
Okay, well, what is it, Bump?
Back-to-back 100-yard rushers.
Yes! For the first time all year long, the Seahawks had 100-yard rushers and back-to-back weeks, it is good to see the run game get going. And you talked about, hey, there are certain things that the offense could do that could make people feel a little more confident about them heading into the postseason. This could be one of them. This is what Mike Macdonald said post-game.
It's good. It's right where we want to be at this point. And we got to keep going. San Fran has a good run defense, and go put a great plan together, and let's rock and roll.
110 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns for Zach Charbonnet, 100 the week before against the Rams for Ken Walker. What have you seen from the run game? Feel free to extend it beyond these 2 weeks, but maybe especially of late. Can it stick around?
I think it can. I mean, you're going up against the Panthers, who aren't great against the run. They're not bad, but they're not great against the run. You took advantage of that. But schematically, I was talking to Big Ray about this pre our post game, and he mentioned that the Hawks are better when they get downhill and running between the tackles. Now, we understand the reason why they do their wide zone. I think it helps their offensive lineman out. It helps set up the play action. It connects everything. But when it's time to run, you get downhill. And they rode the hot hand yesterday, something that we all said, B. Walt, Big Ray, Paul Moore yesterday during the postgame show, is that you got 2 backs, and it's up to Kubiak to kind of feel, okay, who has it today? Last week it was Ken Walker. This week it was Zach Charbonnet. But it's more in this game, it was a more physical type of running. It wasn't finesse. Zach Charbonnet isn't a finesse type of runner anyway. He was just getting downhill, running between the tackles, a few gap schemes there. That's when you're pulling guys and whatnot. But it was just being aggressive with the run. There was one big run was to the outside. You picked up a great block from Cooper Kupp on the outside. And a lot of the times when these runs, you're getting these big runs, it's because the receivers are getting bodies down the field. Big boys get it started, the receivers extend it. So it was just working yesterday, man. I think it was the style of which Zach Charbonnet ran, the play calling, which kept it in between the tackles at times, and sprinkling in that outside zone a bit.
I'm not saying that Clint Kubiak or one individual player is the reason the run isn't working. So do not take what I'm about to say in that direction, listener. What I am saying is I think that forgotten in our conversation about the run is that you have a not first-time offensive coordinator, but a first-year OC with you. Mm-hmm. And maybe there's a world where Clint Kubiak is still figuring out what works best for the run. And I know that sounds stupid. We're heading into week 18, but what if the Seahawks are still learning things about their run game and learning things about themselves?
Yeah, I think it's like the maturation of a football team, especially with this offensive line. Like we watch Anthony Bradford more than any other offensive lineman because of some of the struggles that he has, right? And then there are times where he looks good. Mm-hmm. Like he's getting a body on the body and pushing guys down and all that good stuff. And it's like, all right, golf analogy. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. So in golf, Stacy, when you're warming up at the range, you're getting ready for your round, okay? You're dialing in. You're saying, all right, how far is my 7-iron going today? Right. Am I fading it today? Am I drawing it today? A fade is when if you're right, you're going left
corner
to right.
of the end zone for the golf
exactly.
iron.
Right. So then you get to the course and you take that information and say, this is what I have today, so this is how I have to play. That's what the game of football is. You're looking at your guys and you're saying, all right, what do we have today? Is Bradford on point today?
I think I actually get what you're saying, and I'm so annoyed about that.
Because you've been around me too long. Yeah. Okay. Is Bradford getting on his guy today? Is he getting a push today? What does Sundell look like? How's Abe doing? And you're collecting all this data. Oh, who has a hot hand? Zach Charbonnet. That's constantly happening in a football game. I think it happens more in the run game just because it's so physical. On the outside, you can kind of look at matchups and say, all right, they run a lot of zone. It's a bit easier to kind of diagnose what's going on. When it comes to those big boys in the trenches, you got to figure out what they're bringing to the table at that moment and call the game accordingly.
Would you like to see them run more or run earlier? I saw some people not only saying that right now on the text line, but yesterday during the game saying, hey, the run's working. Why are you getting away from that?
Because you got to keep teams off balance. You can't become too predictable. I mean, you ran the ball 36 times yesterday. You threw the ball 27. I would say they leaned into the run yesterday. Right, take off Sam Darnold's 3 scrambles. 33 times, you threw the ball 27 times. I think they leaned into it. You're not going to see a game where the Hawks just run the football 45 times and toss the ball 10 times, unless it's storming and there's no way you can throw the football.
Well, and you're taking out your best weapon at that point. And to anyone who's saying, like, hey, lean into the – yes, I think you lean into what's working that day, right? If connecting with JSN is working, then by all means, lean into that. I would caution against taking out your best weapon. The best thing for this offense has been the explosive pass plays.
And guess who had 12 targets yesterday? JSN. I thought the game was called accordingly. I think that Zach Charbonnet got 3 more touches than Ken Walker, but later on in the game, it got more consistent. You went to Zach Charbonnet a bit more. JSN still got his 12 targets. You sprinkle in some A.J. Barner with 43 yards. I think that you have to call the game according to what's needed at that time. Mm-hmm. Defense did their thing, gave the offense a couple short fields to get things going. But yeah, I'm okay with how the game was called yesterday. I think that the execution could be better in the pass game at times, but I was fine with it.
I think in general, look, if John Schneider had his perfect world, they probably have one extra top line receiver in there, right? You'd probably have one extra interior lineman. You'd have a few little tweaks and things like that. But overall, I'm fine with this offense. If this offense could do what they did with the run in the playoffs, if the last 2 weeks, if they could find ways to replicate that in the playoffs, if the Seahawks could get the run going, what more do you want? That's a top 5 offense, top 5 defense, top 5 special teams. This is an incredibly complete team.
Yeah.
No, they aren't scoring 40 points per game, but they're also by no means playing super conservatively, can't get downfield. The Panthers didn't complete a pass over 8 yards yesterday. That's a limited offense.
Yeah.
The Steelers, that's a limited offense. You're not limited. You have some issues.
No, you can run any play that's needed, right? Theoretically. Now, executing is different. You want to throw the ball deep? Sam has the arm to throw the ball deep. You want to run screens? We saw some screens. One got blown up yesterday because JSN didn't come back and get underneath the offensive lineman.
I've always said he's a problem.
Always, right? You want to run the football and pack it in? Guess what? You got some tight ends and a fullback. You can pack it and run. No, you can theoretically do anything that the game requires. It's just about the timing of it, the execution, and it's the preparation.
A new favorite has emerged for Coach of the Year. Is it Mike Macdonald's time? That's next.
Hey, everybody, it's Bob Stelton here along with Dave Wyman from the Wyman and Bob Show. And it's going to be tough, Dave, to top 2025. The Mariners, 8 outs away from the World Series. The Seahawks, as we sit, are the #1 seed in the NFC. How do they top that in 26?
How about Mariners to the World Series and the Seahawks win the Super Bowl in 2026? What do you think?
I can't wait. Merry Christmas to all of our listeners. Happy New Year. Have a good one, everybody.
What Bob said.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Seattle's rainy season is here. Don't wait to replace your roof. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project. Our expert team creates a custom plan for your home, ensuring a smooth, worry-free installation even in the winter months. With material prices low and lead time short, now is the best time to act. Stop throwing money at costly repairs. Protect your home this winter with a new roof from your neighbors at 3Tree Roofing. Visit 3treeroofing.com today to secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
Big Nation Station reminds listeners many uniformed personnel and healthcare providers will spend this holiday season working hard to keep us safe. These heroic men and women spend long hours away from home, protecting our freedom and providing critical medical care. Please thank them for their many sacrifices and putting their lives on the line for us every day. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Big Nation Station. We've got a complete stock of beverages, snacks, hot food, and more, and are wishing you and yours a very happy and safe holiday season.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show,
The Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show. It's the best time to buy. January 30th through February 7th with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show. You gotta cruise the Boat Show. You won't believe how cool it is. So bring the family.
Details and discount tickets at SeattleBoatShow.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Toyota of Kirkland is celebrating Toyotathon with an inventory sale down on all 2025 RAV4s, the vehicle that's built for adventure and designed for your everyday life. 2025 gas RAV4s, 2025 hybrid RAV4s, all 2025 RAV4s are available at Toyota of Kirkland this Toyotathon for an inventory sale down. Come check out their amazing showroom, the wonderful staff, get a test drive, and take that 2025 RAV4 home the same day. Stop in today or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-4-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Quick, who would be your pick for Coach of the Year this year? I noticed this when Kay Adams reposted that. Kyle Shanahan is now the favorite. He leapfrogged Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Mike Macdonald, and Liam Cohen. So Kyle Shanahan with the best betting odds to win NFL Coach of the Year for 2025. Then in order, Vrabel, Macdonald, Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Sean Payton. All great candidates. Who's got the best case?
I wish I could bet. I'd do it. I wouldn't do it like often, but I would do it. You know what I mean? Because I want to get in on this action.
Who would you bet on?
I would probably bet on Shanahan at this point because he's only had Brock Purdy a handful of games. Mac Jones came in and looked like a starter in this league. You got no Fred Warner over there, no Nick Bosa. Your diva wide receiver Brandon Ayuk just stopped showing up.
Mm-hmm.
You're relying on Juwan Jennings.
He's on the
diva
leaderboard.
Diva leader. George Kittle's been in and out. Trent Williams has been in and out. And they're what, 12-4? Yeah, I mean, it's or 11-4? 12-4, yeah. Nah, it's probably Shanahan. My bias wants to go with Mike Macdonald. But I think that I won't go Mike Macdonald because this defense was already solid last year, and they're even better this year. You got JSN. He's a baller. I just think that the Niners have dealt with more adversity, and yet they are still competing for the number 1 seed. So I know Niner haters are going to be hot about this, but let's put our bias aside. He's overcome a lot. The more surprising one, though, is probably Vrabel, because I think the Patriots were going to do anything. But Shanahan has dealt with more.
I think it's, for me, under surprising. I think Mike Vrabel, Liam Cohen, and Ben Johnson are all grouped together in terms of like teams that are ahead of schedule. The Jags have had Trevor Lawrence, extended Trevor Lawrence. They've had a lot of these players, but I don't think people expected them to be really competitive until Liam Cohen kind of got going. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of established it. And then with Vrabel and Johnson, 2 very young teams that people probably expected could be really competitive, maybe beginning next year or the year after, right? The Bears are the winner of the NFC North after being the only NFC North team to not make the playoffs last year. That's a great case for Ben Johnson. And they're doing it because of a great offense and a relationship that he has with his quarterback. Vrabel and Cohen with teams that were 4 wins the year prior. Mike Macdonald has a good case that I think people are going to overlook, because I think people see the Seahawks as being like maybe the Steelers of the West, where it's like, oh, they're always kind of competitive. And it's like, well, wait a minute. The Seahawks were 32nd against the run. Then they were 31st against the run.
Mm-hmm.
They have not been a top 10 offense. They have not been a top 10 defense for years and years and years and years. I think that people just don't realize it because they've never been awful. The Seahawks not only have never had the number 1 overall pick as a franchise, but they've not been a team that's been near the bottom of the league. There's not really the narrative of, in the case of Shanahan, you're overcoming a ton of injuries. Or in the case of Vrabel and Liam Cohen, you're taking a team that won 4 games the year prior, right? It's people just saw the Seahawks, was like, oh, what's Mike Macdonald really done there? Man, when you're here around the building, you do see a difference. And maybe it's like not wanting to disrespect Pete Carroll too, right? The rest of the league acknowledges like Pete Carroll was a great coach and is a culture builder, and Mike Macdonald got a team that was pretty good, which is true, but also undersells a lot of the improvement that he made.
So you're going Macdonald?
No, I'm not.
Saying all that to say no.
Yes. No, I'm going Shanahan. Shanahan probably followed by Johnson. But I think that Macdonald has a case that is being most overlooked among all of these.
I can agree with that. I think that Schneider probably deserves GM of the year more than Macdonald deserves coach of the year, because of the team that he, with Mike Macdonald's help, put together. But when you have Ben Johnson taking over for the Bears, who are going to make the playoffs, you have Caleb looking like he's going to reach his full potential. You can't ignore that. Also, their GM over there did a heck of a job as well. I mean, yeah, Bears GM did a great job. Vrabel, who kind of feel like just unlocked Drake May. Like, Drake May had it in him. He unlocked it. Got some pieces over there with Diggs. That defense is solid. But Shanahan just having to adjust personnel-wise, I think that's where coaches really show how great they are, is who you got today. You're missing a bunch of your guys. You're still competitive. You're getting the 2s and the 3s to play well, which has happened here on defense too. Ty Okada, Darren Kendrickson, he was here. A few other names, O'Connell, Drake Thomas. But it felt like, or feels like, the main pieces for the 49ers have gone down, and they look the same. There's no drop-off. When you got Mac Jones, who was, a top 5 pick or something like that?
I think 10.
10. When you have Mac Jones come in, and he looks like nothing fell off, that's impressive. That means
good offseason.
You're coaching up. When you have your backup quarterback come in, you expect to lose ball games, right? No disrespect to our backup here. If Drew Lock were to come into the game, we feel differently about the possibilities of the Hawks winning the game. Granted, he did win a Monday Night Football game for us last year against the Eagles and did his thing. But there's going to be a clear drop-off. When I watched Mac Jones come in and play, it didn't feel like there was a drop-off.
Someone said, here we go, the 49ers show on Stacy and Bump. First of all, thank you for putting my name first and spelling it wrong. No, it's just what we think will happen.
Yeah.
Not what I think Mike Macdonald has done an impeccable job that's going to be overlooked because he's a defensive coach and because the Seahawks were never as abysmal as like the Titans, as the Patriots were last year or the Jags were. So I think that like those are working against him, right? When you're an offensive play caller and your team is competing for the number 1 seed, or your team is, tripling their win total, then I think people pay attention to you. When you're a new head coach and you do it in your first year, again, it's like a sexy play caller, then I think people pay attention to it. He's done remarkable things with this defense. We opened the show by talking about how not enough people are believing that the Seahawks can win a Super Bowl because they value offense more than defense. I think those same dynamics are at play with the Coach of the Year conversation. I think it will be Kyle Shanahan because that's just what the narrative has become. I think Mike Macdonald has done amazing things with this defense that people are just going to overlook because they overlook defense.
Yeah.
That's all.
If Sam Darnold had like 25 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, then I think you'd be looking at this situation a bit differently. It's I've coached, right? Not at this level, obviously, not in the NFL, but I've coached. I coached high school ball for 14 years. And at that level, when your guy is out, it changes everything. Big ups to Efton Chisholm, my Monroe kid who went to Eastern, who scored a touchdown this weekend for the Patriots. When he didn't play, our chances of winning were just different. You have to maneuver different. You change your game plan. You're using the same language, but you're tweaking things. That's what great coaches do. They tweak. And Mike Macdonald has to tweak some things. I'm sure all these coaches have. But when you look at major pieces that have been missing for the 49ers, he's been able to tweak it and keep this team in the running.
Now, I think the Seahawks can win a Super Bowl.
I think they can, too.
And that's what we're going to talk about for a good chunk of the day. Make no mistake. Congratulations, Kyle Shanahan, I guess, on what you guys have been able to do. Really impressive.
Smacked on Saturday.
But y'all are going down. So best of luck, except for every week moving forward. How did the Seahawks get that win over the Panthers on Sunday? Let's revisit the plays of the game next.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
Seahawks are going to play for the NFC West title, the number 1 seed, and a first-round bye.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers, Saturday. Kickoff at 5. Pregame at 2.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey everyone, Bump here for Seattle U men's basketball. Not sure if you heard, but the Redhawks took down the Huskies at Climate Pledge. The battle for Seattle is theirs. Up next at Climate Pledge are the Cougs. Grab your tickets for the December 30th showdown at GoSeattleU.com/tickets.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect his family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
Hey, it's your boy Cliff Averill. Muckleshoot Casino Resort is the place where you can watch all the games in style. Football, basketball, hockey, college, or pro. They got it all. Muckleshoot Casino Resort is what you do. Please game responsibly.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well, and your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Week 18 schedule is set, and the Seahawks are playing Saturday night. Seattle takes on the San Francisco 49ers in a battle for the NFC West and the NFC's top seed at 5 p.m. on Saturday. On Sunday night, the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers fight for the AFC North in a win-and-get-in battle. Tonight, one more game in Week 17. The Falcons take on the Rams at 5:15.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. It's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. So let's react to what the Seahawks did on Sunday against the Panthers with our plays of the game from this 27-10 win. We're going to go to the first quarter. I have one from the first, one from the second, and then the rest are in the second half. So we're going to look at quarter one. It's a 3rd and 15 at 7:07. Zach Charbonnet, 25-yard run.
3rd down and 15. Now back at his own 25. Here's a quick toss. It goes to Charbonnet. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. Turns upfield. Charbs, look out. 40, midfield. Last man makes the tackle. Charbonnet with a huge first down run on 3rd and 15. A 25-yard gain. It's Shaw Smith-Wade, the former Cougar, who made the touchdown-saving tackle on Charbonnet. What a run, breaking a tackle in the backfield and then picking up 25.
All right, so this ends up being a field goal drive. 48-yard field goal is good, and it ends up being Seattle's only score in the first quarter. I guess getting points is great, but this was really encouraging. 25 yards from Charbonnet. What happened here?
Yeah, this is that run I was talking about where Cooper Kupp got a good block on the edge. That end right there, he motions right to left, blocks down on the end. Josh Jones wraps around, and he gets upfield. Jake Bobo gets a good block. JSN gets a good block. 75, Anthony Bradford gets a good block. This is when the run game becomes the most beautiful part of football, when you get bodies on bodies and all that movement happening.
All right, now let's talk about one of those turnovers. We're going to the second quarter. Seattle driving at 5:33. Sam Darnold fumbles, sacked, and then it ends up being recovered by Carolina. The whole thing's kind of confusing.
From their own 46, Darnold empties the backfield. He's got two receivers in a slot far side. Sam fumbles the snap, looks, throws, ball is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Ball comes out, ball is still bouncing around. Seahawks diving for the ball. I thought Sam actually threw the ball.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. Touchdown, Carolina.
I did too, Raves. I thought that this would be ruled incomplete. Instead, the fumble ruling is upheld, so Carolina ends up taking over, and they get a field goal drive to tie it up here. But take us back to what happened on this play.
This is that.
Great tackle by Sam.
Yeah, I was going to highlight
ball popped
that.
right out.
All right, so it snaps the ball, puts it down on the ground, is going back to throw. Me and the guys, we're a half and half with this. I think Moyer and Walters thought it was going to be incomplete, and me and Big Ray thought it was going to be a fumble. Ends up being a fumble. Defense lineman picks it up, but Sam Darnold with a form tackle. Got his head out the tackle,
did a great
right
job.
with his shoulder, knocked that thing out, and the Panthers still picked it up. It was just a mess from the beginning.
Ooh, does Sam have a forced fumble on his stat sheet, says the 206.
He should.
He absolutely should. For a minute there, I thought, you go, Sam.
Yeah.
You go. And then, unfortunately, just recovered by the Panthers there. Okay, we are jumping to the second half. Did I mention that the Seahawks are the second highest scoring third quarter team in the NFL?
You did.
Okay, well, they add 14 here, so let's get to them. First, we are going to go to 13 minutes. Seattle gets the ball to start. This is before an interception, unfortunately, but it'll work out just fine. Charbonnet with a 29-yard run.
In motion across the formation left to right is Bobo. The handoff coming to the near side. Charbonnet breaks 40, 35, 30 down the near sidelines and tries to shove the defender away. Finally making the tackle is Trayvon Mayrig, the safety. But Charbonnet followed his blocking, and a gap appeared on the right side, and he took off like a shot for 29 and a first down.
The second 25-plus yard run for Charbonnet. What's working with him or for him today?
Once again, Cooper Kupp with a good block to set the edge. You got Bubba with a good block to set the edge. You're looking at your big boys. Zabel gets up to the linebacker. You got A.J. Barner getting up to the linebacker. Then Josh Jones comes all the way from the other side, who you call Jonathan Jones. All the way from the other side. And knocks a guy out as well. I have to stop myself from calling him that, honestly.
I don't know
I want to
why.
call him Jonathan all the time now.
I don't know why.
But again, beautiful. You're setting the edge. I'm not just saying this because I'm a receiver. I'm telling you, when the receivers get involved in the run game, big plays are happening. But big ups to Josh Jones, man. He worked all the way from left to right and sprung him there.
With 12-12 left in the third quarter, you'd think it would be a highlight, but it's not. It's a Seahawks low light. Sam Darnold intercepted Mike Jackson, former Seahawk, picks him off in the end zone.
Second down and 10. Slot to the far side. And now the throw goes deep to the back of the end zone, and it is intercepted in the end zone.
I did not think that this pick was good. I thought he was out of bounds. I did not think that shin came down before his toe was out. I digress. Lots of issues with the refs today. Yeah.
Really?
Am I wrong? Tell me what you see.
No, I thought they got it right. But I was with you for a while because I was more looking at his knee.
Yeah.
And then when they came back and explained the shin, I was like, yeah, you're right. I think the shin did get down. But JSN.
A lot of bend in that shin.
Hey, bend in that shin. He does shin exercises that are thick,
Try to get him real flexible.
Jason running a double move. This is something Paul Moyer was hooting and hollering for. He's like, we're not going deep. We need to run a double move. They come out, they run a double move, it's a slant and go. And Mike Jackson just doesn't bite on the slant. He stays disciplined. It looks like he has deep coverage anyway, so he stays disciplined, stays on top. And Sam just takes a chance. Now, this is unfortunate because it's a red zone turnover, and you want to eliminate those, especially in the playoffs. But I think it's a better play by Mike Jackson, poor decision by Sam.
Now, this actually ends up being in a real 4D chess kind of way. A completion from Sam Darnold to DeMarcus Lawrence, then to Ken Walker. You just can't tell yet. DeMarcus Lawrence right here is going to force a fumble on the first play from scrimmage for the Panthers.
Bryce Young goes under center. Hubbard, the single setback. And he gets the handoff, and he gets run into. Ty Okada, ball comes out. Seahawks have it. Getting up off the ground, running to the goal line, getting in. DeMarcus Lawrence. Are you kidding me?
See, it was all planned. It was all just to add a little bit of excitement to this one. But no, this is DeMarcus Lawrence also having an amazing day, who recovers a fumble, forces and recovers a fumble. The Seahawks end up taking over. Carolina just one shot, misses it.
Yeah, this is just a split zone look. DeMarcus is on the left side of the defensive line. He gets upfield and overruns the play, honestly. Then has to come back to the football, and this is why you hustle. Comes back, punches that thing out, it drops. I was so happy for him. I thought this was going to be his third touchdown of the year. That would have been remarkable. But he was down. But it's just the effort that this dude plays with, man. It's crazy for him to play this hard and this fast, and he's been in the league 10-plus years.
Okay, the Seahawks end up getting 14 points from 2 Panthers turnovers in this third quarter, so let's get to the first of those 2 touchdowns. We're going to start with the drive itself, so they have to convert a 3rd and 9. We're at 10:35. Sam Darnold finds A.J. Barner for 16.
Charbonnet slides out of the backfield, going to the left side. Sam looks that way, steps up, throws back inside. Ball is caught. Breaking one tackle, getting down inside the 5. Diving to the 4 is A.J. Barner. 2 guys had shots at him. They couldn't bring him down. And leave it to number 88. Barner picks up a first down, a 16-yard gain.
I appreciate that Barner not only does the barn stomp on touchdowns, but just being brought down in the red zone, like as he's rising from the ground.
He's he brings a different type of swag and attitude to this team.
He does.
I love the way he plays, man. This is Sam just managing the pocket. He feels pressure on his right side. He steps up, keeps his eyes down the field. It looks like the Panthers in a cover 2 too high look. Gives it to A.J. Barner in the flat, and the rest is 88.
I've been saying facts so much since our interview. Facts. Since our interview with Barner. All right, let's get to this touchdown. 3rd and 2, 8:49. Zach Charbonnet, 2 yards for 7.
Sam under center. Charbonnet the single setback. Charbs gets the handoff, looks for running room, and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks! Charbonnet from 2 out puts the first touchdown on the board for either team. The Seahawks lead now 9-3 with 8:45 to play in the third. Zach Charbonnet now becomes the first Seahawk since Marshawn Lynch in 2014 to record double-digit rushing touchdowns in a season. Congratulations to him and the O-line.
And it will not be his last today. What did you see on this one?
This is just, all right, we're down there. Let's run between the tackles. We're going to pack it in with 2 tight ends, one on one side, one on the other side. We're going to use Cooper Kupp once again in the run game. And now you just follow 75. Big ups to Anthony Bradford here. Helps Abe Lucas with a double team, climbs to the second level. Easy touchdown. Charbonnet is following the bigs.
Why have long drives when you can create short fields? Let's go to the Carolina Panthers, 7:54. They're trying to convert 3rd and 4, and instead Young's pass is intercepted by Julian Love.
Here's a 3rd and 4 for Young. Out of the shotgun, Hubbard in the backfield. Young has time, going to let it fly. Got a man out there. It's intercepted. Turning upfield is Julian Love, 45-40. Down the far sideline, 30. Knocked out of bounds. Ball comes out. I think he was out of bounds when he was hit and coughed the ball up. The ball, something's on the ball today as nobody's able to hang on to it. But it is going to be Seahawks ball after the pick. And Seattle's going to have the ball inside the Carolina 30, the second straight takeaway by the Seattle defense.
Good to have you back out there, Julian. What'd you see?
Yeah, J-Lo comes down in the box. Looks like we're playing a one-high cover 3 look, so he's responsible for the flat. The running back swings his way, so he has to respect the flat and get there. And now he's just using his eyes. He's looking at Bryce Young. Bryce Young is going to throw it to the slot. A slot kind of expands. He starts in the slot and then kind of gets to the sideline. They're trying to put stress on the corner over there. But J-Love sees the eyes. He sinks back, gets the interception, gets money afterwards.
At 5:39, Sam Darnold finds A.J. Barner for 17 yards and a second touchdown.
Walker back in, play fake to him. Sam gets hit as he throws. Ball is caught near side. Barner 5, touchdown, Seahawks! Great job by Sam Darnold as he wheels around on the bootleg right. Had a man right there, was ready to hit him, but he fires the ball to Barner down near the 10-yard line, and A.J. did the rest. Taking it in from 17 out, the Seahawks capitalize on the takeaway and make it 16-3.
ESPN's Mina Kimes tweeted after this one, people just kind of forget A.J. Barner. Like, do they forget to cover him? Do they, like, not realize that he's there? What's going on? Because he's constantly making plays.
This is what happens when you run the football. You get in a running formation. You got a tight end in there. You got Oots in the backfield. You shift them over to the left side. Sam under center, fakes the run, and I think A.J. does a great job of selling the block. He blocks down on the end, then he releases. If you look at all three backers who are in this game, they bite. They are not in the picture anymore. And you got to give Sam some love here too, man. He turns around, there's a player right in his face. It's just enough to get it to A.J. Then A.J. picks up a block by Cooper Kupp, another block by Cooper Kupp, and gets it end zone and does the celebration that we all love to see.
Feels like we're heading to the fourth quarter, and on a field goal drive, Cooper Kupp ends up having a dropped pass would have been a touchdown. And I think maybe because of that, I've had a lot of people texting and going, what do you guys think of Cooper Kupp's day? This is like the third time you've mentioned Cooper Kupp's blocking.
Cooper Kupp does so much for this team mentally, in the pass game, in the run game, all around. Could he have made that catch? Yeah, he's capable of making a catch, but
give Coop
three
his
big runs,
respect.
he helped spring.
All right, let's get to the fourth quarter. There's one low light, though I'd hardly call it that. A great day by the defense. But we're going to talk about this Bryce Young touchdown. Tell me what happened here. This one is at 13:48 in the fourth quarter. Bryce Young scrambles to the left 10 yards for a score.
Dowdle in the pistol formation behind Young. From the shotgun, he's going to keep the ball. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to pull the ball down, and he's going to run in for a touchdown. Bryce Young scores. Ty Okada had a shot at him, but a nice move by Bryce Young. His second rushing touchdown of the season from 10 yards out, and Carolina's not going to go away. Seattle leads 17-9.
So that ends up making it a one-score game. It will not end up mattering, but what happened here?
Just lost containment here a little bit. You're getting wide. They're flooding the zone. That means you have an option low, an option intermediate, an option over the top. And you just go for what you know at times. The defense is overflow. Bryce saw a lane and went after it.
All right, let's go to another scoring drive for Seattle. Now, this is going to end up being a 30-yard field goal from Jason Myers, but I think some of Sam Darnold's best plays on this drive, best throws of the day. This is one of them at 7:39, 1st and 10. Sam Darnold finds JSN for 17.
1st and 10 at the Carolina 30. Play fake. Sam's got a roll to the right. He's looking. Now he's going to fire. And catching the ball on the far sidelines is Jax. Tiptoes. Keeps those feet in bounds, and he's got another first down. That's going to be Jackson Smith and Jigba's 9th reception on the day. It's a 17-yard gain, and he becomes just the 3rd player in NFL history under the age of 24 with at least 1,700 receiving yards in a single season. Joins Justin Jefferson and Isaac Bruce. Way to go, Jax.
Pretty good crowd to be part of. What'd you see?
Again, selling the run. You got 2 tight ends in the game. You got Saubert, who's going to show that split zone look. So Sam's going to open up to his left side and fake the handoff. Saubert going the other way. Looks like split zone. He's really going over there to protect. Jason's working the left side. A deep crossover there. Sam gets wide, finds Jason, toes in.
All right. 2 more highlights here. We're going to go to another defensive one, and then Zach Charbonnet's final touchdown at 4:30. Bryce Young sacked by DeMarcus Lawrence for a loss of 11.
Young takes a shotgun snap, steps back. He's going to go down again. Back at the 20-yard line, and D-Law. You just keep working hard, and good things are going to happen for you. A loss of 11 now back to the 20. 2 straight sacks for the Seahawks D as they can literally smell a victory here.
Boye Mafe got the sack for a loss of 3 right before DeMarcus Lawrence, but do want to focus on Lawrence's play here. He's been such an amazing addition to this defense, a Pro Bowler this year. Loss of 11, pretty key.
This is grown man. Just ran through you, got to the quarterback. Ain't too much analyzing going on with this one.
All right, let's go ahead and skip over the last one and get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, who should be mentioned more when it comes to MVP talks?
I know he's not going to get it. His team is garbage. But if Myles Garrett breaks the sack record, he should get some votes for MVP. I think Matthew Stafford deserves it. I think he's putting together a heck of a season. The Browns aren't a sexy pick, but they got 5 wins or something, 4 or 5 wins this year. But the way that Myles Garrett has been playing this year, I think he's been talked about, but probably not talked about enough. If he gets that record, he should already get some votes. But if he gets that record, he should get even more votes. It's just dominant the way that he plays. There's no player in the league like Myles Garrett. I'm just talked about DeMarcus Lawrence having a grown man play that we just broke down, but it's Myles Garrett. Just go ahead and watch some of his highlights and how this dude plays the game.
I feel like it's continuing our theme of today's show, which is like defense is sometimes disrespected. Defense can change games. It can take you to and win championships, but sometimes gets overlooked, whether it's specific defensive players having record-breaking seasons or record-setting seasons. And you think about like how planning for him affected what the Steelers were able to do. The Steelers lost that game, I would argue, in part because they focused so much on just trying to take Myles Garrett out of it.
Yeah, facts.
Impressive. Second down. Let's get back to the Seahawks here. What felt noticeably different later in the game against the Panthers?
Special teams do not hit the same if Rashid is not in that game, man. It's not like we took him for granted, but we're just a bit spoiled. We're just like, it's so fun having him back there and feeling the potential of a return going to the house. No disrespect to Cam Akers, no disrespect to Tariq Young or Bobo or whoever was back there. He's the best returner in the game, and I think it's safe to say that he's the best returner in the game. And when you have a guy back there when you're on a special teams unit that you feel can take it to the house, it's not like you play a little harder, but it just feels different. All right, your angles are different. You feel like every play can be a home run. So as soon as he was out and whoever was returning, it just didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
It just felt like, all right, just possess the football and let's get the offense out there. When he's back there, I'm literally looking for lanes for him to go to the house every single time. So I doubt that he passes concussion protocol and plays on Saturday. That'd be unfortunate. But he's special, man. And I think that whoever has to replace him, possession is all we need at this point. Just possess the football. Don't turn it over.
Normal people don't have those burners.
No.
It's crazy. It's what makes him a Pro Bowler on special teams.
Yeah.
2 return touchdowns and just exceptional speed. That being said, are you still kind of hoping for him to be even more integrated into the offense?
Yeah, I am. I think because of what he can do with the football in his hands, you got to find ways to get him the football. I put him on some of those crossing routes you put Jason on. He's ran some of them. You got to find him. Go ahead and take the top off some double moves. He should be the double move guy when it comes to taking those shots.
That bye week will help, right? Knock on wood.
Yep.
Third down. All right. Who needs a Super Bowl win this year, or he will never win one during his career?
If you don't get it this year, he ain't never winning it.
You better not say Josh Allen.
It's Joshua Allen.
Stop. You don't mean that.
I do. I really do. Because what's the biggest part or a big part of his game is his mobility. And that's the first to go as you age. Trust me, I know this, okay? I will not.
You're 40 now.
I'm just not the same. I used to be quick. But I say that because Pat Mahomes is out. We'll see if Lamar is going to play this weekend.
Lamar's going to get traded to the NFC.
Hey, and there's some things about Lamar I got to talk to you off air about. But this is it. This is his chance. And you just lost, 13-12 last night to Philly?
Yeah, that was a close one, though. I mean, he missed a wide open for 2 points and a win.
Yeah, this is it for Josh Allen.
He knew it, though.
I feel bad for him because I feel like he's going to be one of those greats, one of those great MVPs who never reaches the pinnacle. This is it for him. If he don't get it this year, and I don't think he's going to get it this year, he will never win a Super Bowl. As a starter, he might be a backup somewhere later on in his career, but this is it.
Why would the same not be true for Lamar?
It might be true for him, too. Throw him in there, too. Throw him off in the...
now he's going to this NFC team that I just claimed. But who would it be?
Who would trade for Lamar?
I mean, many teams would be interested, but I guess I should say, who would the Ravens actually trade him to? Right. And there's already some people saying, oh, the columnist who wrote this just has it out for the Ravens and not well-sourced, and even though he's been on the beat for forever.
The Panthers.
But what about Young? I mean, I know.
You're gonna keep Young over Jackson?
No, I would not. But then what do you do with him? Number 1 overall pick.
Send him over to Baltimore with some picks. Start all over.
Okay.
That's the only team that I see that could possibly need a quarterback. I mean, maybe Arizona. Kyler Murray, get him up out of there.
I wonder what happens with Kyler Murray and where he goes.
I think Kyler Murray and Gannon are done.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Fourth down. Holidays are a time to be spent with family. So what's something your son said this weekend that made you angry?
They edited what I wrote down.
I saw that.
Yeah.
For the best. Don't say that word.
Wyman says it all the time.
I know.
Wyman can say whatever he wants. We got to be so PC. I'm just playing, Wyman. I love you. He said, Dad, Derrick Henry's washed.
What?
I go, shut your face, son. You shut your mouth. It was before the actual game against the Packers. But I'm like, what are you talking about? Even before that, he still had 1,200 yards and like 12 touchdowns. These kids, man,
they don't get it.
They see someone with a 30-something in their age and just think it's over for them. He's no good. So then he went out and he balled out. And I called my son. I go, hey, man, what'd you say about Derrick Henry again?
What'd he say?
He was like, what did he do? He didn't even see the game. What did he do?
Oh, wow.
I go, no, he only went for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's it. Is he still washed? Lucky game. I go, son, I need you to watch more football and shut your mouth when you're talking to me, okay?
People just
I still
say
love
things.
you, though. I love you.
I love that he said it, but then didn't watch the game.
Yeah.
And it was...
Didn't watch the game. He's
What do you
washed.
mean, didn't
What are you
watch the
talking about,
game?
son? Because he's doing other stuff. You know, he's at the mall and doing all that stuff that kids do.
Oh, God, I guess. Washed. Yeah, kids, old people to them, I mean, once you get into the late twos, I think to them, you're big. You know what I mean? The late two. Once you get 27, 28, they're like, oh, wow, that's crazy at your big age.
Hey, text line has another suggestion. Lamar
Yes.
to the Dolphins, but it's in the same conference. I don't think they want to keep it in the same conference.
Well, that's why I was wondering, like, is there an NFC team that would? But I can't think of an NFC.
I think it has to be the Cardinals or the Panthers.
Seahawks.
Nah. I would love it, but I'm good. That's my Sam. I'm going to stick by him.
They might trade in conference if they get enough. Certainly not in division. That would be insane.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
In conference, maybe. I mean, Lions and Rams traded in conference.
Yeah.
Though I don't think that the Rams
the Rams gave up everything they had to get this dude.
Yeah, I don't. And that was actually a trade that worked out for both sides.
It did.
So it ended up being okay. A college hoops mistake plus Joe Burrow gives his teammates a very unique Christmas present. That's next.
Hey, everybody, it's Bob Stelton here along with Dave Wyman from the Wyman and Bob Show. And it's going to be tough, Dave, to top 2025. The Mariners, 8 outs away from the World Series. The Seahawks, as we sit, are the #1 seed in the NFC. How do they top that in 26?
How about Mariners to the World Series and the Seahawks win the Super Bowl in 2026? What do you think?
I can't wait. Merry Christmas to all of our listeners. Happy New Year. Have a good one, everybody.
What Bob said.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
It's a cold winter night and your furnace dies. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, upgrade now to a Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system from Home Comfort Alliance and stay warm. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show. The Big Seattle Boat Show. It's the best time to buy. January 30th through February 7th. With big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building. With more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the geeks to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Bonneville, Seattle, and Seattle Sports are looking for organizations that regularly distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants or have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive notifications of job vacancies, please notify Human Resources at 1820 Eastlake Avenue East, Seattle, Washington 98102, or email us at seattlealljobs@bonneville.com or call 206-726-6902. Bonneville is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Calling all Seahawks fans, this is Cliff Averill. I'm here to announce Away Game Rumble at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, sponsored by Corona and Modelo. Take football Sundays to the next level with a free viewing party at Galaxy for every away game. Count on giveaways, specials, big screens, big action, and so much more. Full details at muckleshootcasino.com/rumble. Don't miss Away Game Rumble, only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Good Dog Auto Glass. When the stakes are high, you want the best on your team. When your windshield breaks, don't settle for your insurance company's fix that's just safe enough. Trust Good Dog Auto Glass, where the quality isn't light. We do all the things the little guys don't, and we do all the things the big guy does.
We answer the phone when you call, we work for you, and we will walk you through the insurance process. Visit GoodDogAutoGlass.com, Puget Sound's most trusted auto glass company, and get more bang for your bark.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy, and today we are heading to college football. That's where we're starting, at least. We're going to get back to the NFL. The NCAA has lost control of college sports, and college basketball is the latest example. Here's what happened. Over the holiday weekend, it was announced that Baylor would be adding 7-footer James Nagy to their roster. So what's the big deal? No one should be that tall. I'm kidding. That's not it. Turns out that Nagy was a 2023 second-round pick in the NBA draft, and his draft rights were already involved in the trade that sent Karl Anthony Towns, recently engaged, by the way, to the Knicks. Many college head coaches were up in arms over the signing, the most vocal being Michigan State's Tom Izzo.
I'm a little surprised. I got to call into Scott. I'm anxious to see what he tells me, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that we're holier than thou art or anybody should not do this or that, but if we're dipping into that one, if it's like I'm reading or hearing, I don't read it because I don't go on Twitter, but when I'm hearing, and now we're taking guys that were drafted in the NBA and everything. I said it to you a month and a half ago. Come on, Magic and Gary, let's go, baby. You know, let's do it. Why not? I mean, if that's what we're going through, shame on the NCAA. You know, shame on the coaches too, but shame on the NCAA, because coaches are going to do what they got to do, I guess. But the NCAA is the one, those people on those committees that are making those decisions to allow something so ridiculous and not think of the kid. So everybody talks about me thinking of my program or selfish. No, get that straight for all of you. I'm thinking of what is best for my son if he was in that position. And I just don't agree with it.
Baylor head coach Scott Drew responded during his Monday press conference.
Well, first, Coach Izzo and I are friends. I got a lot of respect for him. Great conversation. As he said, most coaches are 99% aligned on things that we would like to see done with our game. At the same time, from my knowledge, until we get to collective bargaining, I don't think we can come up with rules that are agreeable or enforceable. And until that, I think all of us are got to be ready to adjust and adapt to what's out there. Early on, when it first came out with G League players, I wasn't in favor of that either. But again, we don't make the rules, and as we find out about things, we're always going to adapt to put our program in the best position to be successful, because that's what we get paid to do.
Do you see this as just like an NCAA issue with chaos there, or specific to the program?
It's an NCAA, right? They make the decision to allow this young man to come back. And as soon as his rights were involved in a transaction in the NBA, I'm like, all right, you're no longer eligible to go back to school, right? I think that's the problem there. Maybe if he was just sitting and nothing happened, that'd be all right. Well, you weren't actively participating. You haven't been involved in any transactions. I don't see the big deal about it. Coach Izzo's old school. He doesn't like the G Leaguers being able to come back. But the game is changing. Things are going to change. The NBA and college are changing rapidly. The way these guys are viewed are changing. I understand his frustration, though, because he was involved in a transaction. He's to me now, he's legitimately a professional basketball player. You could no longer go to college.
Well, it's like, where does it end? Like, can a guy who was drafted to the NFL but never played in an actual game go back to college?
So a question, this is what Drew pointed out. Is this something that is here because of not necessarily a loophole, but like Drew said, okay, well, we have a bunch of international players who went through the NBA draft process but then weren't selected, and they're allowed to play college basketball this season, which is happened with a couple of women's players who were still picked in 2024. But is this something that's like, well, there aren't going to be that many examples, or is it a problem?
I think it's going to be a problem unless the NCAA actually like rules on this.
Do you think they will?
I don't think so. I think I saw Kevin Clark of ESPN put it in a really, I think, succinct way, where the NCAA, he said he was talking to somebody that knows a lot more about NCAA athletics, and he said their theory was that the NCAA is trying to tank college sports in a desperate bid to get Congress to grant them their wish list. He said he didn't believe that person, but now he does. And
being like antitrust stuff back, or like what's...
Or to like get a stronger grip on what's going on in college athletics. Like, the NCAA was like, you guys wanted this all along, here, have it. And now we've all kind of realized maybe things weren't so bad the way that it was, in terms of, like, you know, just watching college sports and all that.
I know, but part of it is I hadn't heard that. What I have always believed, through no reason other than just it would make sense for the NCAA, is that a lot of the oversight is just kind of intentional, when it, like, following NIL deals being authorized and following the ability to let players make that money, that they were like, all right, well, we're just going to be hands off with a bunch of stuff. And that kind of laissez-faire attitude created. The NCAA had a lot of issues before any of this happened.
Right.
And they were always going to run into legal issues, because they were constantly going to have these, like the Ed O'Bannon stuff started in like 2007, 2009, around there. Like, this had been going on for a long time, and it wasn't going to stop. It just feels like the NCAA, now this is more about a slightly separate issue, but I can believe that the NCAA would be intentionally hands-off and negligible with certain things, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how this evolves. That's interesting, though. I hadn't seen that from, you said Kevin Clark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow gave his offensive line samurai swords as Christmas gifts last year. How could you possibly top that this year? By gifting them actual dinosaur fossils. And this goes into my theory that guys like weird gifts.
Man, if I'm one of his old linemen, I'm looking at what Aaron Rodgers has got his boys. I'm like, I want that. Like some doom buggies and something like that. Like, I want something like that. I don't want no sword. I don't want fossil. Give me a go-kart, buggy.
That's what I would say.
Motorcycle.
Though.
Give me something.
My sister's boyfriend wanted a hot dog toaster, and he got it. It was like the best thing he possibly got. Dudes like weird gifts.
I don't know.
You guys like weird gifts. You know what I got?
What?
A wonderful faux fur blanket.
A what?
A faux fur blanket.
What is that?
Fake fur.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fake fur?
A faux
fur. Never heard of it.
Blanket.
Never heard of
from
it.
CB2.
I'm glad you got it.
It's moss colored, which is very in right now.
Mosque?
Moss.
I'm
moving on. Joe Burrow says he thinks he topped last year's gift by gifting them those dinosaur fossils.
So are you getting gifts planned for your guys today?
Yeah, they got them. They got them Monday.
Can you tell us about that?
No. That's between us.
I mean, the samurai swords were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were cool.
Were you able to top that? Or?
Yeah. I think I did top it this year.
Really? You think so?
I think I did.
Dinosaurs are very cool, I will admit. I think swords might be cooler than dinosaurs.
Why wouldn't he tell him what he got? What's the big deal?
I don't know. As it turns out, Burrow has had a long fascination with fossils, as this clip from Netflix's Quarterback resurfaced over the weekend.
Somehow there's this one fossil that proved Darwin's theory of evolution. It's called the Archaeopteryx, and we got to see, there's like 12 of them in the world. We got to see one of those. And we got to see the little old lady that freaking works on it, grinding. We went to the Natural History Museum. They took us behind the scenes and showed us some really cool stuff. It's like a library of fossils that they don't show everybody else. It was like you go to the shoe store and they're like, maybe we have it in the back, and it was like all the fossils back there. It was pretty sick. And they had the career like field guy that goes and finds them talking to us about it. It was pretty cool.
Do you have any eggs?
Yeah, they did have some eggs. Why were fossils on my mind? I don't know, because they're cool. When aren't fossils on your mind? They go back millions of years. That's sick.
Fossils are his Roman Empire. When
I was
aren't
just thinking
fossils
that.
on
I was
your
just thinking
mind?
that,
When
Roman
aren't you
Empire.
thinking about dinosaur fossils?
You know what? My algorithm shows me stuff like that. I follow some accounts that have to do with
those
that.
are the best accounts.
So yeah, I probably see a fossil once or twice a day.
I think it's very cool. I a little bit agree with the 206. They said if it's like a dinosaur skull or something, that's freaking cool. But what if it's just some random like phalange? Here's a femur, but like it's like really tiny.
It's
I'm just saying
2
like
by 2.
I know. I don't think all fossils are created equally, is what I'm saying. I think
Definitely
some
not.
fossils are way cooler than other fossils.
You know what I just found out according to one of those accounts that I follow?
What?
That T-Rexes they don't look the way that they do on Jurassic Park. They're
What do you mean?
actually chubby. They're not as like lean as it looks in Jurassic Park.
That. Oh, that makes them cuter.
They still kill you just to rip you apart, but they're chubby.
I read, and by that I mean I saw a tweet that I can't remember, that they didn't like roar. They made like hissing noises.
Yeah.
Matt, could you look into dinosaur facts for us?
Definitely. Good use of the workday. Good call.
I'm going to Google it during the break. I have a couple minutes here to figure
Hey, real
this
quick,
out.
when I saw fossils on the show sheet, I thought he got them cheap fossil watches. I was like, I know he didn't give him no fossil watch.
Do you know a fun fact?
What?
Fossil watches also creates watches for Burberry.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of designer watches have the same basic like creator thing, which I know because I used to work for Michael Kors.
Okay.
So a lot of them actually are the same thing. It's kind of like L'Oreal has like now I'm
L'Oreal.
okay.
'Cause I clearly
I'll
use those
explain during the
products.
break. Coming up next, everything we learned from the Seahawks head coach this morning.
Hey, everybody, it's Bob Stelton here along with Dave Wyman from the Wyman and Bob Show. And it's going to be tough, Dave, to top 2025. The Mariners, 8 outs away from the World Series. The Seahawks, as we sit, are the #1 seed in the NFC. How do they top that in 26?
How about Mariners to the World Series and the Seahawks win the Super Bowl in 2026? What do you think?
I can't wait. Merry Christmas to all of our listeners. Happy New Year. Have a good one, everybody.
What Bob said.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off.
ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
We are well into the rainy season, Seattle, but it's not too late to get your roof replaced. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project this winter. Our certified technicians build a custom plan for your home, ensuring a worry-free installation even in the winter months. Replace your roof now while material prices are low and lead times are short. Stop wasting your time on costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home, thanks to the VA home loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Cliff Averill here, giving a big shout out to the biggest and the best in the Northwest. That's right, I'm talking about Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Time and time again, they've been voted the best resort and best casino with the best chicken wings. There's nothing like being the very best, so come check out everything this place has to offer. Hey, when they say the biggest and the best, they mean it. Everything's on the table at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Find out more at muckleshootcasino.com and please game responsibly.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
It's Toyota-thon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota Renton are providing you with large savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like the 2026 Corolla LE, leasing at $219 a month for 39 months with $29.99 due at signing. The Camry LE at 4.99% APR for 72 months, and the Prius leasing at $305 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. It's Toyota-thon at ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered.
Offers valid till January 5th, 2026. Excludes taxes, titles, licenses, dealer accessories, and a $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee. Models 1-852-255-1263.
O'Brien. From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I've been desperately Googling to figure out what Sam Darnold got his offensive lineman for Christmas.
Streets is talking.
Streets is talking.
Might have gotten him some form of jewelry.
Like a ring?
Like a ring? Yeah, I'm going to get offensive lineman rings. You know what's kind of weird to me?
What?
It's not weird, but I just wouldn't do it. Like men who wear rings that aren't married, just wear
like
rings.
Just wearing a ring?
Yeah.
My best friend used to have this thing where she would immediately be like, no way, if a guy wore a bracelet.
A bracelet?
Yeah, she used to really hate bracelets where...
Even if it's like a diamond bracelet?
I swear to God, she would come from a date. We'd be like, how'd it go? And she'd be like, he wore bracelets. And we'd be like, okay, but what about him as a person? Like, what'd you think? But she just didn't like bracelets.
Right.
Some people just have their thing where they're like, cannot wear bracelets. Watches are not bracelets.
No,
but
watches are different.
Watches are jewelry. But watches are not bracelets. So, yeah. I've never thought about that before, though.
Me either.
Yeah, wearing rings. Just wearing rings. Just wearing jewelry.
It looks weird to me.
I'm guessing that the jewelry item you heard about was not a ring.
It was not a ring.
But that's not to say that he won't help them get rings.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank you. The best from Mike Macdonald's show earlier today. Let's go over it right now. First, talking about that defense giving up just 2.7 yards per play.
How that number gets that way, Brock, is the lack of explosives. Yeah. I think maybe one of the longest plays of the day was the first play. So that really, to me, that tells us the tale of how we played on defense. How do you limit explosives? Well, you got to get to the ball. You got to tackle well. You have to play great coverage, rushing coverage, complementary stuff. You have to play great on first down. So you limit kind of their menu as they move forward. Our guys did that. I mean, this is the best PN10 team in the league. PN10 meaning the first drive of this first play of the series. And so that was a major emphasis of a situation that we had to win, because if you didn't stop them early, they're kind of like they turn into a train, like they're going for it on third and fourth downs, and then they're really good in the red zone. So guys did a great job at the beginning of the series.
I think because expectations are so high for this team this year, as they should be, sometimes we tend to focus on what we wish we could have seen because, I'd feel even better. But not enough people talking about how the most explosive pass play from the Panthers was 8 yards. They limited them to 2.7 yards per play and no more than 150 total net yards.
Yeah, I think in the first half, they had 16 passing yards. End of the day, Bryce Young was 14 of 24 for 54 yards. What does that mean? It means, like what Coach said, the coverage was on point in the back end. Defensive linemen were collapsed in the pocket. He was only sacked twice, but that's all good. And they were rallying to the football. That's impressive. I don't care who you're playing. And the Panthers have moved the ball against better teams or good teams. Mm-hmm. So, no, that's extremely impressive.
Okay, I have a couple more here. Do I want to combine it with the run? No, we're just going to go straight through. This was Mike Macdonald talking about the meaning of 12 as one.
It's a lot of things. One, it's the 12s. So the feeling we're trying to create is that you're playing more than 11 guys. So that's the power of the 12s. That's the synergy of how we play as a team. That's the sideline as part of it. That's if you want to nerd out, it's kind of like, hey, I'm doing my 1/11th and then some. So we joke it's like I'm doing my 1.09. You multiply that by 11, you get 12. All sorts of ways you can describe it, but it's kind of like an overwhelming feeling that we're trying to create for our opponents.
I like to, it's just our joke that we have. It's a really funny joke about how if everyone does their part plus a little bit, then together it equals 12.
1.09 is what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. Do your 1.09.
Right.
They should have T-shirts or something like that. I'm sure they do. They have something that represents exactly that.
It's Mike Macdonald style math jokes.
But that's
just math jokes.
That's football, man.
Yeah.
figure out weird things to fit a narrative or philosophy or something, and that's just that's Mike's.
Let's talk about Zach Charbonnet, 110 yards on the ground. Mike Macdonald talked about his running style.
I think there's different facets to his game. He runs. A lot of his production yesterday was on our wide zone stuff, which based on the game plan and the way the game was going, we felt like that was a good plan of attack, and he was able to read it out. And like, to me, when I'm watching, if we're decisive in our tracks as runner, and Sharps has been that, then that's when we have our best chance in some of those schemes. And he was, and we were able to get north and get square. And then he's got this balance of vision, and then there's like a heaviness to him that he's hard to tackle. I mean,
what do you see from Zach?
I think that I like the way he described it, a heaviness to him. Like, he runs heavy. Ken Walker is strong. He'll run through you as well, but it's almost like Ken Walker runs on water, right? And, I used to live when I lived with my grandma, she used to tell us stop stomping in the house because we'd run so heavy. We're kids, it's running heavy. That's what I feel like when I see Zach Charbonnet run the football.
Heel first.
He's just hard, right? Shoulders forward, not too much wiggle going on. I'm going to try to run through you. And in this game, it worked out. Excellent blocking. I mean, the more I watched the film, the offensive line did a great job getting to that second level.
Mike Macdonald asked about how he feels playing on Saturday night.
Whatever. Yeah, when's the game? Let's go put together a plan. Let's go.
Can't tell if he's unhappy or not, but asked about his preparation for a Saturday game and how that changes things.
There's going to be a blend here of how do we get as most prepared, how much time as coaches on the front end do we need, how much time do the guys need to recover, how do you get, what's the proper amount of reps that you need, full speed versus walk through. I mean, those are things that we're working through right now. I think we have a pretty good idea how we're doing it, but the guys will be in tomorrow in some capacity. And then, it's a West Coast thing, so it's a one-day trip. It's a 5 o'clock game, so it's hard to do there'd be something maybe you do game day morning, maybe some sort of, light walkthrough or something. But, it's kind of it's like a combo of a Thursday, Sunday, and then more slanted towards Sunday, obviously, because of how, you get 6 days instead of 4.
I don't know that he sounds especially pleased to be playing on Saturday night, but I would imagine, Bump, that both he and Kyle Shanahan look at it the same way, which is, well, we're both in this, so...
Yeah, it's what can you do about it?
What can you do?
You probably complain for a couple minutes when you get the schedule, and now you have to get to work. How am I going to get my guys prepared for this game on Saturday? So, yeah, it's a pain in the butt because it changes your work week, but this is for the division. This is for the number 1 seed. You got to be excited for that.
The worst non-call in yesterday's game coming up next, and what caught my eye.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle, and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
Seahawks are going to play for the NFC West title, the number 1 seed, and the first-round bye.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers. Saturday. Kickoff at 5. Pregame at 2.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can
say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Upgrade your home's comfort and save up to 75% on scratch and dent and overstock equipment at Home Comfort Alliance. Over $3 million worth of heat pumps, furnaces, and air conditioners from top manufacturers like Lennox. All now up to 75% off. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Rights reserved.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show. The Big Seattle Boat Show. It's the best time to buy. January 30th through February 7th with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. The Boat Show, the Boat Show. You gotta cruise the Boat Show. You won't believe how cool it is. So bring the family. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Week 18 schedule set. The Seahawks are playing Saturday night. Seattle taking on the 49ers in a battle for the NFC West and the NFC's top seed. That's going to be 5 p.m. Saturday. On Sunday night, the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers are fighting for the AFC North. A win and get in situation there. Tonight, one more game in Week 17. Falcons taking on the Rams at 5:15.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
Are the Ravens and Lamar Jackson reaching a breaking point in the relationship? That coming up in 30 minutes when we take a look around the NFL. It's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And right now we're reacting to the things that caught our eye. Week 17 edition. Bump, get us started.
What caught mis ojos?
That's Spanish.
It's Spanish.
For eyes.
My kids are Mexican. You said this already, But I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
No, you didn't say my kids were Mexican.
I was like, I don't remember saying that.
No.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did, and I
Mexican.
can't remember.
No. You held the Panthers to 16 passing yards in the first half. 16 passing yards.
1-6.
I can go out there, close my eyes, and toss one up to Tedero McMillan and have more than 16 yards passing. At the tender age of 40, I can do that right now in the NFL. All right. That's just how stifling that defense was. Defensive line was getting pressure.
Yeah.
Backers were flying to the ball. The back end, they were being covered. It was impressive. I saw that number at halftime. We were doing the halftime show, and I had to double check. That's a typo.
That can't be
check another
right.
source. Let me check another source. But no, 16 passing yards in the first half is ridiculous.
I thought it was just fascinating. I mean, by the end of the game, not only was it fascinating by the end of the game to see longest pass play 8 yards, longest play of the day for the Panthers 11 yards, it was fascinating after a week where they gave up the most yards in a game.
Yeah.
In Seahawks franchise history, they have had worse defenses than this defense, far worse defenses than this defense, and they never gave up that many yards. And it's not even like, a couple weeks later, you've seen both versions. The next week. 10 days later, they limited the Panthers to under 150.
That was the bounce back.
Yeah. We needed it. It was very cool to see. Anything stand out to you as like a common thread? I know Mike Macdonald talked about sure tackling, like open field tackles and sure tackling. Someone gets a reception. Rarely is there enough space to really do damage.
I think that's what it is, because at one point the Hawks were the worst tackling team in the NFL when it comes to dismissed tackles. So, yeah, it's the fundamentals, man. Get to the ball, seed ball, tackle, all that good stuff.
My turn. Did you guys hear that?
What?
Oh, that's right. Nothing. Because it sounds like the ref swallowed the whistle on this one. A lot of no calls in this one were catching my eye. I wrote down 2 in particular, but there were far more. The 2 that I felt could use some revisiting. I thought there could have been unnecessary roughness on Mike Jackson for the tackle that he had Rashid Shaheed. Do I think that that's called in every single game? No, I don't. Do I think it is called in some games? Yes, I do. I think there's some inconsistency. It's open for interpretation. I think it was a little unnecessary. Secondly, and much more obviously that should have been called, was the horse collar and face mask on Jackson Smith-Njigba. I know that he had a face mask call that completely not changed the game, but basically ended it for the Panthers, and did get that face mask call. But there were 2, okay? There were 2, and it was a blatant miss on that other one. Lots of just weird referee work in this one. Some interesting officiating, as I said very facetiously on Twitter. Some people were like, I think you mean bad. I was like, okay, I obviously mean bad. Being passive aggressive. Just officiating was less than stellar in this one. There were many other moments. Spotting Sam Darnold short of the line to gain, which I don't think he was. Most of them benefited the Panthers, who just didn't make the most of them. I don't think there's a deep state conspiracy to get Carolina atop the NFC South. I don't think that's what's at play here. I think it was just a bad day for officiating.
I think it was. I think face mask is probably one of the more easy calls to make.
His head goes the wrong way.
Yeah, it's unless you're doing your LeBron super acting flop, which none of our guys do, and not a lot of people do in the NFL. There's no reason not to see that. There's too many eyes. The ball carrier has the ball. All eyes are on the ball carrier. The hand is high, head is twisted. Makes sense. Easy call. Yeah, they definitely missed that one.
What's next?
What caught mis ojos? Ty Okada played a really good game. He was flying to the football, getting downhill, making open field tackles. It was almost like we forgot that Kobe Bryant wasn't even in the game, right? That he's injured. Now, I'll never forget Kobe. You know I'm your guy, right? But Ty Okada had himself a game, and it started early. He was second, or tied with 6 tackles on the team, but it seemed like every tackle he made, 1 TFL, was an open field, just a missile, a dart flying downhill and making big plays, man. And that's just another testament to you guys staying ready. Ty Okada has played a lot of snaps this year, more than Julian Love, but he stays ready, man. I appreciate that about Ty Okada, and he plays with a passion that's infectious.
I think because Mike Macdonald is able to get so much of that from his players, I'm really curious to know what meetings are like. What are the defensive back meetings like? What's the defensive meetings like? Like, how is he? Is it just because they're winning? Like, how is he able to make this defense so great with tackling? Such sure hitters, sure tacklers, such hard hitters. Is it messages sent in, or talked about in meeting rooms? Is it like a certain thing they practice? Is it tough practices? I would love to be a fly on the wall throughout their offseason program.
Yeah, I would. So I think it's personality too, right? You got to get the right type of guys who play with that speed and that toughness. And it's reminding them and highlighting. I'm pretty sure when they're watching film, they're going to highlight Ty Okada getting downhill, smacking dudes, making open field tackles, Spoon doing the same thing. It's expected from the guys interior, right? It's expected from D-Law and Ernest and all those guys. But when the littles on the outside get involved, it's fun to watch.
Someone said they're working it for the 49ers. Come on now. Does anyone actually, I know I'm going back to my last one, does anyone actually think the NFL works things in games for other teams?
No.
I do not.
No.
I think the NFL has bias. I think that the second it was clear that the AFC North would come down to Week 18, it was obvious the Seahawks and 49ers were not going to get that Sunday night spot. I think that's where NFL bias comes in, and it always favors
scheduling's where the bias is.
Exactly. But in individual games, no, I don't think so.
No, I think that you have referees who don't do this full time.
Yeah.
It could be better.
You just have bad ref teams.
Yeah.
My turn. I was curious if you noticed this as well. What caught my eye was what felt like an additional effort by Seahawks defensive players to pounce on loose footballs, to make sure the play was actually blown dead. I noticed Uchenna did it to start. Ernest Jones did it another time, and I was thinking, I don't know that I noticed this quite as much before. I think that Rams game was not only advantageous in that moment for Seattle, but maybe a learning opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised at all if following that game, the coaching staff was like, hey, guys, make sure we never make that mistake that the Rams did. We are always on top of loose footballs to always not just play through the whistle, but you better make sure that you have possession of that football.
Yeah, for sure. It's I think that's going to spread across the league. I already think it's being coached. I think you have so many good coaches in this league that has been coached, but now there's going to be a big emphasis. You essentially won the game because you got on the football when everyone thought it was dead. I like that. I saw that. I was laughing when Uchenna did it because he was struggling. He was struggling a little bit. He wanted to scoop and score. He wasn't just trying to jump on that, man.
He said just being safe.
Yeah.
I saw it. He did it, and then Ernest Jones did it in a really pronounced way. It might have been on Julian Love, when Julian Love, I think it was that play, he picks off Bryce Young, and then it's down, and then the ball starts rolling, and Julian's up, and they're celebrating. They're like, we got the ball. I think that's when I saw Ernest Jones jump on it. I can't totally remember, but I remember the one that Ernest did was a little pronounced, where I was like, this is amazing content.
That was fun.
Hard not to notice. I liked it. Okay, what's next?
What caught mis ojos, AJ Barner's quietly becoming a top-tier tight end in this league. I know he only had 3 for 43 and a touchdown. He now has 6 touchdowns on the year. He has 505 yards on 50 catches. He is a good blocker. He's deceptive when it comes to releasing into the flats or maybe the intermediate routes. He's just a solid tight end. And I think that if he keeps progressing the way that he has been, he could be a top 5 tight end in this league. His numbers might not reflect that just because of the offense and because you have JSN and you have all these other weapons. But A.J. Barner is becoming a dog in this league, man. And like I said earlier, he brings this type of energy and swag to the team that I think they need.
Do you think opposing defenses overlook him, or in general, when you have a good when you have a good tight end, is it just a bit easier to find those mismatches? Because I remember even when the Legion of Boom was great, you'd still have in 2015, Greg Olsen or whatever they got burned sometimes by tight ends. And I've always thought maybe when you have a great tight end, it's just a matchup nightmare no matter what.
I think you're right. I think unless you have Kyle Hamilton, Nicky Manwari, players like that, it's going to be hard to cover the tight ends because of his size.
Yeah.
Right? And his ability. He's not going to run by you. There's not many tight ends that will run by you. George Kittle used to back in the day. But yeah, it's matchups because you're going to be covered by someone who's just smaller than you. A safety, a nickel, a linebacker. Good luck if you're a linebacker trying to cover A.J. Barner. So, yeah, it's matchups all day.
All right, my turn. I stole this a little bit from you because I noticed it when you talked about short fields. The Seahawks touchdown drives were all on fields that were I think 30 yards or lower. I have them in front of me. Just kidding. Let's see. 21-yard scoring drive a 29-yard scoring drive and 25-yard scoring drive were all the touchdowns. They did get a field goal, the one that ended up bouncing off of Cooper Kupp's hands in the end zone. That would have been their longest touchdown drive. Instead, it's a field goal drive, 55 yards. But all of those came from turnovers, the last one being a turnover on downs, and all of them were shorter fields. I started the show by defending the offense, saying, look, it's not bad. People are critiquing them for being bad. But I wanted to make this my final what caught my eye because it did, once you mentioned some of the shorter fields, I thought, oh my God, you're right. All the touchdown drives were recovered in Panthers territory.
Shorten that field up, man. It takes some pressure off of the offense and puts pressures on the ops. So defense got this team going. The Hawks have the 8th overall offense when it comes to yards every game, the 2nd scoring offense. But I still look at this team and identify with the defense as the leaders of this squad. You got Sam, you got Jason having a franchise year. You got back-to-back 100-yard rushes now. I'm not sleeping on the offense. I think the offense can throw hands with anybody. Obviously, 2nd scoring offense. But the defense is the thing that keeps this thing rolling. And I would prefer it that way. I prefer to have a high-scoring offense with a stingy defense.
That's true.
Perfect recipe.
Yeah. Well, and I guess there's also there's two ways to look at it. You could look at it and go, oh, your defense gave you the ball 3 times in Panthers territory. Or you could look at it and go, oh, I would have liked a 70-yard scoring drive to make me feel like the offense could really move down the field. But, all right, what's next?
What caught my eyes? J Love. The play that J Love made was a veteran play, that interception. He walks down into the box. You got a single high look, Ty Okada over the top. He's responsible for the flat. And if you can't go back and watch this is a vet at work. The back releases are bubbles to his left side, so he has to respect it. He gets wide. And the back is not getting upfield, so now he's looking at the eyes of Bryce Young, flips his hips, get back, intercepts that football. Bryce Young, I guarantee you, was like, all right, they're in cover 3. This guy's going to be open. Let me just toss it up. But just J Love being a veteran. If you're coached properly, you're going to make that play. But it's the smoothness that J Love did it with was impressive, man. So J Love, just the little things that he does, that really impressed me.
Those are the things, too, that when we're talking about what it means to not have J Love out there, it's like, yeah, Ty Okada looks great. And Kobe Bryant, before getting hurt, it's like, great as a defensive back. But it's the veteran savvy leadership. Like, those are very real things that are clearly tangible when they're out there, but hard to explain when someone's gone, especially if your team's winning. I want to get back to one thing, mostly because it's become a debate on the text line. Someone said, you guys are crazy if you don't think there's steering of games in the NFL. I don't. I think that there's been poorly officiated games. I think there's been horribly blown calls. But I don't think, and I also think that there's bias. There's a difference between refs having bias towards protecting Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or whoever versus a rookie running back. Like, there's bias. But I don't think that the NFL intentionally steers. Like, I don't think the NFL is what made the Chiefs get to and win so many Super Bowls.
No.
I think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are.
No, they totally be in the ears of the referees and telling them to make calls and not make calls.
Yeah, I think that sometimes you need to turn I love Curtis's conspiracy corner. But I think sometimes we get a little too the NFL makes all of this happen.
Yeah.
No, they don't. If that was the case, it would be the Rams and the Jets in the Super Bowl, or it would be the Giants and Cowboys in the NFC Championship every single year.
It's human error.
You know what? That's actually the best point. I would believe that the NFL was steering these games if the Cowboys had appeared in a Super Bowl once in the last 30 years. Then you could convince me. The Cowboys not making it? No.
Yeah.
It's the single most watched team. I'm sorry. The NFL is going to absolutely want to see that or their 2, quote, New York teams in the Super Bowl.
They're not steering the games, brother.
No. Bias is real. But
bias is definitely real.
Yeah. Or
bad
bias
calls.
was, like you said, scheduling.
Yeah.
Like the AFC North because of those East Coast markets and Aaron Rodgers being scheduled on Sunday night. Yeah, that's bias. That's real decision making there. That's not random. They didn't put the Seahawks in the hat and draw them for Saturday. They decided to put that game on Saturday because they thought, this is a more dramatic one for Sunday night. But no, I don't think the refs are doing this on purpose.
No.
That's just me.
That's me too.
And that's just us. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Ravens beat the Packers on Saturday, and the Steelers lost to Cleveland on Sunday. So that sets up a winner-take-all Sunday night game in Week 18 for the AFC North title. What's the real headline?
Well, hey, speaking of, is anyone shocked that 2 mid-East Coast teams got Sunday night?
No, it's the Steelers, man. You know, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's 42. He's a big name. I'm not surprised at all. It doesn't bother me. I'll take primetime on a Saturday. And that means I don't work on Sunday. I get to rest and watch those games. So, selfishly, I prefer this, actually. And as long as our guys are on primetime, I am fine. This is where the steering happens when they schedule the Steelers and Ravens on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any faith for whatever team ends up making it. I'll say that, though. I know that we all have that thing of, like, the Bills' defense has some serious issues against the run this year. You also never know what could happen with the Bills in the postseason.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about the Ravens and Steelers, where it's like, oh, you never know. I just don't.
You know, they don't have any fear in you?
They don't.
Nah.
No. Lamar, independently, sure. I don't think he's been at 100% since week 2. That Bills-Ravens game to start the year was great.
Yeah.
That was the best that either team looked all year long.
Facts.
And maybe that's why they don't really strike fear into my heart.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Raiders are now 2-14 after their blowout loss to the 3-13 Giants. What's the real headline?
If it sounds like tanking and looks like tanking, the team might be tanking.
They're tanking, but it's almost like it's a natural tank, though. Because you're not very good anyway.
It's actually just a captain going down with the ship.
Yeah, he's just, look, I'm on this thing. I'm a ride or die with you guys. Sending Max Crosby obviously is a form of tanking, but I don't think they're going out there and say, let's call a horrible game, guys. Let's go for it on 4th and 15. This isn't Madden. You're not playing video games. And I feel bad for Pete Carroll over there, man. I hope that looks like they're gonna get the number 1 pick. I hope that they give him an opportunity to try to fix this. It's just weird with that number 1 pick because you have, I'm doing air quotes, your quarterback over there.
Yeah,
the quarterback
Fernando
market
Mendoza.
isn't great. You know, Mendoza is waiting for it. Can you imagine Mendoza in Vegas?
Can you?
You go crazy. Like, I hate this place. It's the devil. I don't belong in Vegas. He live an hour outside of Vegas just so you don't have to deal with all that madness.
He's like shaking post game. Oh my God.
Yeah. She doesn't have any clothes on. What are you doing? I just feel bad for Pete over there. He looks defeated. He looks tired, man. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
God, I'm just imagining now, like the journey of Fernando Mendoza walking through Vegas. Like, I think they're handing out Pokemon cards over here. This man just keeps hitting these cards together.
Oh my goodness.
So interesting. Walking into a casino. You guys do goldfish? This is the goldfish table? God, I really want this to happen now.
Mendoza in Vegas.
Do we think Mendoza's going to be the number 1 overall pick?
I think so.
To the Raiders.
This is weird over there, man, because you know if you bring in another quarterback, Geno is tripping. You bring another quarterback over there.
Someone said, what about Pavia? Maybe a perfect. He's waiting to pop bottles.
Pavia would be perfect for Vegas. It might be a little dangerous for Pavia in Vegas. He might be on some Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I think he needs to go to Indy. And
I think he needs to go to cold weather city.
You need to expand to Nebraska and send him there.
Curtis, could you do me a fave, or Bump if you already have it up? Who are like the top 5? I know we still have week 18, but like ish picks right now. And which of those teams, a question for both of you, which of those teams feel most likely to be able to turn this around in 2026?
I mean, the Giants they've got talent on that roster.
Yeah.
Top picks, you got Vegas, Giants, Jets, Tennessee, Arizona, Cleveland, Washington.
I know the Giants can be no lower than 2. So of all of those teams, and Washington has Jaden, who can get healthier. They have a lot of questions on that defense, though.
Tennessee's good.
Okay, who's got the best record of those 5 in 2026? You have to call it now.
I'm gonna say the Titans. Because I think Cam is gonna continue to progress.
Curtis, best record of those 5 in 2026.
I'll say the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the pick, honestly, because Dart is doing this thing.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Line number 3, Michigan has hired Kyle Whittingham to be their new head football coach. What's the real headline?
This is an example of using the wrong formula to get the right answer.
Yeah, this move was not on my radar. I was sitting somewhere having dinner, and I saw his name pop up and started doing some research. And the more I think about it, it is perfect, man. Kyle Whittingham is a no-nonsense type of dude. Lots of integrity. I had dinner with him one time. It was like I'm talking to him, and even I straightened up. Like, all right, coach. You know, he's a good dude. He has some good thing going at Utah, but I think this is the move that Michigan needs because old boy left Michigan, and man, the last 2 coaches left Michigan in shambles. And Kyle Whittingham is proven a man of integrity. He's a great leader. He'll have that defense flying around making plays. I love this move from Michigan.
He's actually the one I think I'm most intrigued by. Like Lane Kiffin with LSU, maybe it ends up being crazy, but I feel like we all know how it ends, which is Lane Kiffin being fired from LSU. Like, we know where that one's going.
Yeah.
DeBoer, I think, is eventually out of it feels like he's just on a perpetual hot seat by virtue of not being part of an SEC community or from an SEC community.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're always an outsider, and the second that you can be on the outs, they'll do it. I mean, maybe they go beat Indiana and then Ohio State and win a championship.
I don't think so. I actually wouldn't mind if Alabama beat Indiana. I love the Indiana story, though. Last week, people jumped on me because I said Mendoza's not my cup of tea. I respect who he is as a football player. It'd be so hard for him to go into a locker room, and I've been in NFL locker rooms. It is a interesting place. Mendoza would have to get comfortable in there. But no, I wouldn't mind Bama beating Indiana. I'm all for chaos, man.
Someone said, why is everyone so upset about the game? Is Sunday night a better market than Saturday? We are one of 2 Saturday games. I think people are feeling like it's a short week. Like
That's
a shorter
all it
week.
is, yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of like a Sunday night being the premier spot. So even though it's 2 prime times, I think people still view the final game of the regular season. It's Sunday Night Football. So there is a little bit of like a subjective read of it, but then another part is a very real. You're playing a night earlier. You get one less day.
One less day to prep.
Yeah. So.
But at this point of the season, too, it's not like these guys are out there running around for 2 hours on the practice field. It's more mental at this point. You played the Niners already. You have a whole bunch of film on them. Hopefully you're peaking at the right time. The NFL practices at this time of the year are a lot more chill than what people think.
Are the Ravens and Lamar Jackson reaching a breaking point? That's next.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
Seahawks are going to play for the NFC West title, the #1 seed, and the first round bye.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers, Saturday. Kickoff at 5. Pregame at 2.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/fast. That's ethos.com/fast.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Slumbery's Mattress Factory reminds listeners many uniformed personnel and healthcare providers will spend this holiday season working hard to keep us safe. These heroic men and women spend long hours away from home, protecting our freedom and providing critical medical care. Please thank them for their many sacrifices and putting their lives on the line for us every day. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Slumbery's Mattress Factory. Talk to the people who've built your mattress in Marysville for over 60 years or find them online at slumberys.com.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
It's a cold winter night and your furnace dies. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, upgrade now to a Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system from Home Comfort Alliance and stay warm. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Calling all Seahawks fans, this is Cliff Averill. I'm here to announce Away Game Rumble at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, sponsored by Corona and Modelo. Take football Sundays to the next level with a free viewing party at Galaxy for every away game. Count on giveaways, specials, big screens, big action, and so much more. Full details at muckleshootcasino.com/rumble. Don't miss Away Game Rumble only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Warrants reserved.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Are the Ravens and Lamar Jackson reaching a breaking point in their relationship? Baltimore Sun columnist Mike Preston went in on the relationship between the two sides. Among the things he noted was that Lamar's staying up late playing video games, falling asleep in team meetings, and not taking care of his body are hurting him in the long run when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens. He said a major problem is that there are team rules and then there are rules for Jackson. It's why Baltimore, for instance, practices in the heat of the afternoon instead of in the morning, implying quite clearly that Jackson would prefer to wake up later.
Me too.
He said, I mean, me too, unless I was getting millions and millions of dollars to go practice, and I'd rather practice in a cooler environment. Once you're up in the morning, it really is easy.
Most days.
I'm a morning person.
Clearly.
I'm moving, but I'm not a professional athlete. I'm moving on to some more notes from this. He said once the Ravens become critical of Jackson, he becomes more withdrawn, which is a shame because Jackson isn't a mean-spirited person, just an overgrown kid in an adult's body. He said, however, the Ravens should explore all options. It's clear Coach John Harbaugh has become tired of Jackson, even though he builds him up after every game. He has to, or Jackson will go into his own self-exile. So he says the Ravens should look at possible trades.
It sounds like he has a maturity issue. When you read stuff like this, you don't know what's completely true, what's completely false. I lie somewhere in the middle. I don't think someone just comes out and throws allegations like this out there without some of it at least being true.
And he's been covering this team for years and years and years.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it kind of changes the way that I look at Lamar Jackson. I always viewed him as a humble, hardworking guy, good teammate. And he probably still is a good teammate, but sometimes you reach a point in your career where you kind of become a diva a little bit. So, I'm going to reserve harsh judgment on this one, but I can't ignore that the guy who wrote this has been around this team for a long time and probably has some truth in there.
Yeah, I thought maybe the most telling point to me was specifically about, Jackson's personality. He's not a mean-spirited person. He's just a kid in an adult body, because I think that's a more realistic depiction of, it doesn't simplify people are bad or they're good and hard workers. It's this guy's been so talented his entire life and has gotten away with so much. And unfortunately, right now it's starting to cost him because he's not maintaining his body.
Yeah.
He's not, you know what I mean? He's not out there for a full season. Suddenly you're not an MVP anymore, and it's not okay that you don't wake up for practice.
I mean, that maintenance on the body is huge, man. Sleep is huge, man. I could have a bad night's sleep and come to work here and then be struggling with my thoughts and all that stuff. So, and as you get older, Lamar, it gets harder, man. So I hope this is a wake-up call for him and he bounces back.
Myles Garrett is still just a half sack behind T.J. Watt and Michael Strahan's single-season sack record. Garrett thinks the Steelers prioritized blocking him over actually winning the game.
To an extent, I feel like they were more worried about keeping me away from Aaron than getting the win. And I think that's what came back to bite them. So they'll have to fight it out with Baltimore next week. But I'm just proud of the guys for fighting and getting this win. That's the main thing, and I'm always going to keep it that.
I think a lot of people felt this way. Now, it's hard to tell because the Steelers' offense, particularly of late without DK Metcalf, just kind of looks like a mess. And they looked bad in that first game against the Browns. So I wouldn't put it past them for specifically trying to stop a division rival from getting that record. But also, you got to stop Myles Garrett.
Exactly. You game plan for him.
You got to take him out of your game.
Every game Myles Garrett plays, teams have a plan for him, whether they execute it or not. He's a great player. He's going to do his thing. But, yeah, they're going to max protect. They're going to have a tight end over there. They're going to chip block. They're going to do all that, Myles. It's part of stopping the greatest pass rusher in the game right now. And I'm sure they have the record on their mind as well. Like, we hope he doesn't get it against us.
Yeah.
But you game plan for you, Myles Garrett.
I, as someone who can be petty, cannot blame others for being petty. And let's say that the Steelers were like, not against us. Not against us, he won't. Not against Aaron Rodgers, he's not.
That's fine.
We're not having that in the history books. I'm like, okay. Because I wouldn't blame the Seahawks for maybe introducing a wrinkle into their game plan against the Rams or 49ers for something. You know what I mean? Like trying to make it really difficult for them. I'd be like, well.
You know who else gets
What are you
game
gonna
plan
do?
for? Max Crosby.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt, Nick
You
Bosa.
gotta stop that guy. I like the idea, though, of they wouldn't let me sack him. It's exceptionally rude. And I love Myles Garrett. I hope he gets this record, and I think
me
he
too.
will. Let's talk about the Raiders and Max Crosby. Has he played his last game with Vegas? Vegas placed him on IR with a meniscus injury, even though he had played on it this season. He left the Raiders facility after a decision was made and then posted videos to social media showing his mobility being unaffected by his injury. Pete Carroll said he supports Crosby's decision to go home.
The competitor that he is, the reaction that we've been talking about for a couple of days, what's going on. This is his spring arm. We've been talking about it. And it was exactly like you would think he would do, and he should do. And I agree with him 1,000% on how he responded. And I responded the same way, and I get it. And so we fought our way through it, and just came to the hopefully the right conclusion for his long betterment.
That's a tough decision to make, because I think it's one that a lot of us, if we were a head coach or a GM, would want to make. Oh, you mean there's absolutely no chance in the world that we can be in the playoffs, and right now we're just looking at the number 1 pick? No, I don't want a December injury for my best defensive player.
Yeah.
No.
But we know what was the real deciding factor in that.
Well, yeah.
They're trying to lose that game, and he's not going to go down there and lay down. So I know what both sides are getting at. Max Crosby is a competitor. He wants to be out there. He wants to ball with his boys. I'm with you. The Raiders are like, look, man, the game is over, or the season's over. Let's limit your risk, and at the same time, we limit our chance of win ball games, so we get this number 1 pick. I get it. I'm going to ask you this question, though. End of the game, the Panthers, they kneeled the ball 4 times.
Yeah.
That is the softest stuff I've seen.
It's the same type of thing.
And B. Wall was like, whoa. And he had a good point. B. Wall was like, well, why risk it? You got a game next week. Yep. Nobody gets hurt.
Yep.
Because it's competition, and that is soft. You swing until you are knocked out. And me, Moyer, and Big Ray were all on one page. B-Wall was more on the logical side. That's probably why he went to Cornell. But we were like, nah, you play. I was so disappointed in the Panthers. I'm like, y'all really just going to take a knee? Y'all really are just going to take a knee and give up. Throw the 4th-string running back in there and let him run the dang ball. Throw your 2nd string out there. Let them do it. I was so disappointed in the Panthers.
Yeah, I definitely was a little surprised to see victory formation instead of just, if nothing else, trying to run out the ball, try an offside kick, onside kick. See it as like practice for certain things. But I might be on Brian's side with this one, in that they are playing ridiculous. A win and get in or go home game against the Bucks.
The 3's in. Run the ball.
I think I saw Curtis.
Soft.
If the Falcons beat the Rams tonight, and when, I don't know who they're playing, the Saints maybe, the following week, can they get into a tie with the Panthers and Bucks for the NFC South? Okay.
But if the Falcons win out, I believe it would factor into the Panthers-Bucks game where they would enter into a 3-way tie. But I believe then
they'd still lose that.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. The NFC South is such a mess.
So, yeah, the Falcons have to win out. The Bucks would have to win Week 18, and then obviously with the Bucks winning, that would mean the Panthers would lose. So there's still a chance of a 3-way tie atop the NFC South, but Falcons have already been eliminated.
A very cool moment on Sunday as Monroe native and Eastern Washington alum Efton Chisholm scored his first career NFL touchdown in New England's blowout win over the Jets.
May on the rollout, on the move, throws to the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Guess who? The first of his NFL career, Efton Chisholm III, undrafted out of Eastern Washington.
Your boy.
My boy. I was hyped. I was actually doing the post-game show, and he FaceTimed me from the locker room.
Okay.
From the end zone. Joey Horn.
I FaceTimed my coach immediately.
From the locker room. He's going crazy. Diggs was there. Kyle Williams was there. And it was perfect timing because we were 30 seconds before we came back.
Yeah.
So I answered the call. We're just going crazy, man. I've seen that kid since he was like 10, 11 years old. So happy for my guy Chisholm.
Who's the most dangerous opponent in the NFC playoff bracket? That's coming up next.
Hey, everybody, it's Bob Stelton here along with Dave Wyman from the Wyman and Bob Show. And it's going to be tough, Dave, to top 2025. The Mariners, 8 outs away from the World Series. The Seahawks, as we sit, are the #1 seed in the NFC. How do they top that in 26?
How about Mariners to the World Series and the Seahawks win the Super Bowl in 2026? What do you think?
I can't wait. Merry Christmas to all of our listeners. Happy New Year. Have a good one, everybody.
What Bob said.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net. This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Try
Trying to get a handle on the market these days, it's nearly impossible, at least for me. Mike Salk here, and I'm busy. I don't have time for the daily ups and downs of the market, but I am very concerned with maximizing my money for the long-term impact. That's why I talk to Trajan Wealth. You have an old 401k, maybe you're not sure what to do with it. We all want peace of mind in our investment portfolios, right? Well, how about starting with a second opinion? Call Trajan Wealth today to discuss how to optimize those funds and get that money working for you again. Trajan Wealth's core philosophies include low expenses, manager tenure, and tax efficiency. So as I talked to my local guy in my first meeting, it quickly became clear those were his priorities. He asked me a ton of questions about me, my family, my goals, my risk tolerance, and then he started working on a plan designed to meet my needs. Call Trajan Wealth today at 206-466-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Who's the most dangerous opponent for the Seahawks? I was going to say in the NFC playoff bracket. We can also expand it to the AFC if you want. Like, which opponent wouldn't you want to face in the Super Bowl? But then I don't want the bad karma of talking about a Super Bowl opponent before the playoffs have started. So maybe that's bad juju.
It is.
But I thought that this would be a good way to, we already know the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs, to talk about kind of the path that they could possibly take, what the rest of the playoff landscape looks like in the NFC, which teams are dangerous, which aren't. Coming up at 1, I wanted to get back to our conversation about why aren't more people around the league convinced the Seahawks can win a Super Bowl? So I feel like these two tie together pretty well. We're going in reverse order this time around, talking about the playoffs before we get to belief in the Seahawks. I think that this year's NFC playoffs have the eventual Super Bowl winner in it. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes from the West. And I think that even the teams that are facing question marks, like the Eagles have at times faced question marks, are clearly a very good team.
Yeah, Eagles are still good. 11-5. I think their struggles offensively feel like they could be corrected because you still have Saquon. You still got AJ. You got Devontae over there as well. And Jalen Hurts is having – it's crazy because Jalen Hurts is having one of his better years throwing the football too. Well, 25 touchdowns, which is a career high. The Eagles still worry me a bit, but you ain't got to look too far. It's the Rams for me. It's the Rams. Yeah. They scare me the most. You see how both of these games went down. You throw out a stat. Was it like 500, 800 and something yards?
Yeah, it was 1 yard.
1 yard difference
and
in both
1
games.
point difference.
Yeah. It is the Rams. It is Matthew Stafford. It is crazy Puka Nacua. We didn't even see Devontae the second time around. It's that defensive line. It's Jared Verse. It's Kobe Turner, who killed us. It's Braden Fisk. It's Landman at the second level. It's there's another Kobe, I believe, at the corner spot. They're just a solid all-around team. Where they struggle is special teams. And you pointed that out, too. They were like second to last in DVOA, I think you said, when it comes to special teams behind the Jets. So, yeah, to me.
Oh, no, the Jets are the best.
Jets are the best, sorry. But, yeah, to me, it's still the Los Angeles Rams because, yes, you've proven you can beat them, but it wasn't by much.
Yeah.
It came down to the last second in both games. That's a scary one for me.
I think I'm with you on that one. I was initially thinking, well, maybe what if it is the 49ers and you get a regular season matchup here coming up on Saturday night. So this could end up being a preview for another game that you'll end up playing depending on how the path goes for these three teams, all of which are obviously in the playoffs. But I think that I am making the mistake that you talked about people making, which is paying a lot of attention to the 49ers offense and overlooking the question marks they have defensively. I already know they're missing some stars, but like you look at a Sunday night game where it was just touchdown for touchdown, 17. You know what I mean? Like just back and forth with 5 ties, I think, or matching it with 5 touchdowns. And you think, oh my God, I don't know if the Seahawks can get into that kind of shootout. They've done it once earlier this year against Tampa Bay, but that's not really been who they are offensively. However, I keep overlooking that their defense, San Francisco's, also allowed that many points from the Bears. And I think the Seahawks defense is better than both. So like you, I think I'm settling on the Rams. Does that mean I'm overlooking San Francisco? No.
Heck no.
I just think the Rams are, outside of Seattle, the more complete team. The Rams defense is better than the 49ers defense. And their offense is better than the Eagles offense.
Yeah. And it's about timing, too. We got to see we saw what the 49ers look like, obviously, last night against the Bears. Now we get to see them on Saturday. That could change my perspective. If the 49ers come out and they are solid defensively, moving the ball offensively, and we struggle offensively, the thing that I know we can always count on is the great kicker, Jason Myers, and defense, the kicker.
Right.
Jason Myers.
Football player Jason Myers.
And the defense. When the offense rolls out there, I know that JSN is going to get his targets, and he's going to be just fine. I know that the run game, you're going to get a lot of attempts to run the football. It's just the execution and putting it all together and having Sam Darnold be confident and make some of the throws that we saw him make. There's a throw he made on a crossing route to JSN. He tiptoed and toe tapped and stayed in. Like, those are the type of throws that we need from Sam Darnold because windows are going to be small.
701, it definitely should be the Rams and Eagles. They can and should beat any other team. I say that, and I give praise to the Eagles roster and for that defense for holding Josh Allen and the Bills out of the end zone through most of the game. But did anyone watch that game between the Eagles and Bills and think that either offense was like absolutely deadly? Both have a ton of James Cook is amazing. We already know Josh Allen is an MVP. We already know who the Eagles have on offense. But like, if people are going to sit here and complain at all about what the Seahawks offense looked like, you could do the same for either of these offenses. The Bills defense is not good. The Eagles dropped 13 points. And that's, by the way, the worst run defense in football.
Yeah, only thing about those, especially the Phillies offense, is they don't turn the ball over. They don't give it away.
Fair point.
Josh Allen does have 10 interceptions, but for the most part, you don't look at those offenses and say, all right, you're going to get some giveaways today, or defensively, you're going to get some takeaways today. With the Hawks, you're just saying, all right, just not at the wrong time. Just don't fumble. The most fumbles in the game, your quarterback's up there with interceptions, is just – that is a fact. That is who these guys are. That's the only thing that I think those teams have on the Hawks right now is they just don't turn the ball over. Not like that.
Am I overlooking the NFC South winner here? I mean, wild card, you're going to have to go face them in either Tampa or Carolina.
No. I don't think so. We saw Carolina. We can handle them on a bad day. On a bad day, you can handle them.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, yes, they got us, but they're a different Tampa Bay team at this point of the year. No, I'm not disrespecting. You got to go out there and play and be efficient, but I'm not shook at all with that.
509 says also agree it's the Rams. Yeah, I think the Rams are the team that I am nervous about Saturday.
I am
keep
too.
reminding myself to say Saturday, but like the 49ers offense has looked stellar through most of the season, but especially in primetime over the last 2 weeks. They've just looked amazing. Brock Purdy's looked outside of a pick six.
He's back.
Confident.
He's dug
pretty
in.
unstoppable, and he's smooth with it.
He's smooth with the Dougie.
He's really smooth with it.
I wasn't expecting that from him.
That one surprised me.
I'm like, you really be at home hitting it, huh?
I did a little head nod. I thought, dang.
Oh, you giving some approval?
Yeah, I approved of it. I thought, good job, Brock. Unfortunately, you will have to lose on Saturday. Well, let's talk about the Seahawks, not just on Saturday, but heading up to a Super Bowl. They have their most wins, 13, since 2013. So why aren't more people around the league convinced that the Seahawks can win a Super Bowl? That's next.
Hey, everybody, it's Bob Stelton here along with Dave Wyman from the Wyman and Bob Show. And it's going to be tough, Dave, to top 2025. The Mariners, 8 outs away from the World Series. The Seahawks, as we sit, are the #1 seed in the NFC. How do they top that in 26?
How about Mariners to the World Series and the Seahawks win the Super Bowl in 2026? What do you think?
I can't wait. Merry Christmas to all of our listeners. Happy New Year. Have a good one, everybody.
What Bob said.
Georgetown License reminds listeners many uniformed personnel and healthcare providers will spend this holiday season working hard to keep us safe. These heroic men and women spend long hours away from home, protecting our freedom and providing critical medical care. Please thank them for their many sacrifices and putting their lives on the line for us every day. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Georgetown License, taking care of all your vehicle and vessel licensing needs for over 30 years. Online at georgetownlicense.com.
Want to make 2026 your year of adventure? Book that trip and learn a new language with Babbel. Go ahead, make a resolution you can stick to. Now is the time. Babbel's New Year sale is here. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with the lifetime subscription for 65% off. Just go to Babbel.com and start today. Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases, so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And because Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember, you'll be talking like a local in time for takeoff. Dive into the world of language learning content with Babbel's videos, podcasts, and stories from around the world, full of culture bites and language learning tips. Turn your daydream into a destination this year with Babbel. But don't wait. This offer ends January 15th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025.
Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Good Dog Auto Glass. When the stakes are high, you want the best on your team. When your windshield breaks, don't settle for your insurance company's fix that's just safe enough. Trust Good Dog Auto Glass, where the quality isn't light. We do all the things the little guys don't, and we do all the things the big guy does.
We answer the phone when you call, we work for you, and we will walk you through the insurance process. Visit GoodDogAutoGlass.com, Puget Sound's most trusted auto glass company, and get more bang for your buck.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show. It's the best time to buy. January 30th through February 7th. With big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
Your new home is ready now. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new construction communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington, with more coming. Find your new home at drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Cliff Averill here, giving a big shout out to the biggest and the best in the Northwest. That's right, I'm talking about Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Time and time again, they've been voted the best resort and best casino with the best chicken wings. There's nothing like being the very best, so come check out everything this place has to offer. Hey, when they say the biggest and the best, they mean it. Everything's on the table at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Find out more at muckleshootcasino.com and please game responsibly.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Week 18 is set. The Seahawks are playing Saturday night. Seattle taking on the 49ers in a battle for the NFC West and the NFC's top seed at 5 p.m. On Sunday night, the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers fight for the AFC North in a win and get-in battle.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. It's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and we are reacting to the Seahawks getting their 13th win. It's Seattle's most wins since 2013. They won a Super Bowl that year. So why aren't more people around the league convinced the Seahawks can win a Super Bowl? Now, I do want to preface this by saying I am not talking about the Seahawks being overlooked or disrespected per se, okay? Every single person who's an NFL fan and has watched a minute of the league this season knows that the Seahawks are, first of all, in the Super Bowl, competing for a top seed, are a good team, etc. I'm talking about a Super Bowl favorite. I'm talking about a team that has convinced people, not just a good team. Do we think that they're hesitant because of the offense? Because defense is overlooked? I don't know. Bump, what do you think?
I think they're hesitant because the Hawks have the second most giveaways in the game.
That's a lot.
The most fumbles in the game.
That's too many.
The most batted passes at the line of scrimmage in the game.
That's actually surprising.
Sam Darnold has 15 interceptions, 14 or 15 interceptions.
20 total giveaways.
Up there with the worst of them.
I don't like that.
And with all that being said, the offense is still the second highest scoring offense in the game. People don't believe because of the flaws. And the flaws of this team are exactly what I talked about. Ball security. Ball security equals job security. And there are times, almost every game, where that ball is going to be on the ground. It's going to be tipped. It's going to be in the possession of the other team because of interception. It's just not consistent enough. So they overlook how great this defense is. So I don't blame people. It's funny because you went out there and you beat the Rams Thursday night, came back, improbable win, and people still look at the Rams as the better team. Like, oh, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Better team loses, right? So yeah, it's because of the flaws, man. And people love some offense. And when your offense is led by Sam Darnold and he has the tendency to turn that football over, they see disaster. They see the Hawks in the playoffs and the Hawks being in the red zone and Sam not being able to pull through. But I will say this. He did pull through against the Rams. He did pull through against the Panthers. If he could look good against these Niners on Saturday, I think it'll give people a bit more belief. But I think the majority of football fans will never put the Seahawks as the favorite to win it.
I agree with you. I think 4 things are at play. Number 1, recency bias. The 49ers were a team that a lot of people had written off earlier this year because of their injuries. But what have we seen? We've seen them and Brock Purdy look really good offensively in consecutive primetime games. In consecutive primetime games, they had the spotlight, all eyes on them because both were major games, and Brock Purdy looked amazing. A little bit of recency. Had Sam Darnold just dominated the Washington Commanders and we were back in week 9 or 10, we'd all be having that conversation about Sam Darnold, but that was many weeks ago. Now instead, Sam Darnold turned the ball over twice against the Panthers. Did his team still win? Yes, but again, recency bias. We've just seen great performances by the 49ers. Number 2, Sam Darnold. I think quarterbacks sell tickets, sell jerseys, are the most important athlete on the field. And I think people are less convinced about Sam Darnold than they are about Matthew Stafford, than they are about Brock Purdy, and in part because they couple Matthew Stafford to a slightly lesser degree because he's so established, but in part because they couple those quarterbacks with their respective head coaches.
Right.
It's not just Matthew Stafford. It's Matthew Stafford, MVP frontrunner with 40 touchdowns. Oh, and also Sean McVay. It's not just Brock Purdy. It's Brock Purdy, oh, and also Kyle Shanahan. It's seen as like a tandem, whereas Sam Darnold's just Sam Darnold and Clint Kubiak, I guess. I think that people just see it as less of a force and less of a convincing name. And you can tell me, I've already seen the stats about winning percentage over the last 2 seasons, game-winning drives. I already know all of those. I see them every week in the media guide. That's not what fans are looking at around the league, though. The third thing is the thing you pointed to earlier, which is touchdowns are sexy.
Yes.
I think people are far more persuaded by a great offense than they are by a great defense. everyone was talking about the Legion of Boom back in 2013. It was very fun to watch. Every single person and their mother knew that the Seahawks were an electric team. People still doubted they'd be able to hold back Peyton Manning and the Broncos. There is no Peyton Manning and the Broncos this year in the NFL, but offense has always been pretty convincing to people. It's just felt more
There's
unstoppable.
Matthew Stafford and the Rams, though.
Matthew Stafford and the Rams, right, with a pathetic 40 touchdowns as opposed to 50. But I think you're absolutely right with the point. You made it earlier to start the show, and I feel like it's been a very fitting theme for today. People are just more convinced by offense.
Yeah, and that's why you look at the Niners' performance last night, what they put up 42 last night. They just ignore that the Bears dropped 38 on them.
Yeah,
they put up 42
the defense
points.
over 2 weeks has given up over 50 points.
Like, this Seahawks offense is arguably the best offense in franchise history. They scored 470 points, the most a Seahawks team has ever scored. But you still look at it sideways like, oh, no, man. They're averaging, 29 points per game. The run game looks like it's finally getting going. So if we're going to have recency bias, we should probably have some of that with the Hawks as well.
Good point.
But recency bias includes the 2 turnovers that Sam produced yesterday.
Yeah, my fourth point was just going to be the turnover. They do have some real critiques.
Yeah, no, it's real. I mean, you can't ignore the sores on this team. But with all that being said, they're 13-3. You know, they just beat the Rams. This Saturday, I think, will persuade a lot of people to go stay where they are in the hate or the love, or flip. You know, this Saturday is going to be big. And good teams just find ways to win ball games. And that's what they've been able to do. They've been able to have all these turnovers, but find ways to win. Score the most points they've ever scored. I think I saw a stat that Sam Darnold is the 5th quarterback in NFL history to have back-to-back seasons with 13 wins. In history, it's like Manning, Favre, Rodgers.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, big names.
Yeah,
big names.
you know?
Elway, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to buy on either side because the numbers will tell you 2 things: that this is a great team, and Sam can pull through in the clutch. He has the 2nd most game-winning drives in the 4th or overtime the last 2 seasons. And then you look at the turnovers. So it's this is a weird team, but I love it.
The turnovers are definitely concerning, and those are real. That's not something that like someone's making up about Sam Darnold. They're a real critique of Sam Darnold. If you wanted to get even pickier, which I'm perfectly willing to do, you could also look at the run game and say back-to-back weeks of 100-yard rushers is great, but overall they're not super consistent there. That being said, your point about good teams finding ways to win, I immediately thought of the Eagles getting so much credit there. The Eagles have looked like a hot mess at times, but they find ways to win and have for so many years. And I think the only difference is that they've proven it.
Yeah, they've done it.
Literally this past season.
People can point to something.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if the Seahawks had gotten to and won a Super Bowl, they could be having exactly this season, and people would be like, look out.
Hey, the champions,
It's that Sam Darnold hasn't done it. People's lasting image of Sam Darnold in the postseason, and his only playoff start, by the way. His only playoff game, which I love it when people are like, Sam Darnold, he always falls apart. He always does. He always does that. Every single time that he's been in the playoffs once, he's done it. Is that he just can't meet the moment, can't play under a lot of pressure.
He's had how many moments? 3, maybe, like really big moments?
I mean, I think people look at it as
he's had 3.
Yeah. So playoff against the Rams, and then going back to that would be fighting for the number 1 seed with those last 2 regular season games.
Yeah. So let him. He's just because of his age, it doesn't mean that he has all this experience of these pressure moments and of rising and falling and all that stuff. No, he's had 1 good season, and he's putting together another one, and he's still growing and developing as a quarterback, even though he's like 26, 27 years of age. The reality is he hasn't been in these situations, and the last time he was in that situation, he threw 2 interceptions, but then threw 2 touchdowns and drove down the field, went 5 for 6, threw a dot to JSN, found Saubert in his 4th progression. He's growing. This is all part of the process.
Someone said this feels so similar to 2013 regarding the offense. It was a top 5 offense, but it felt worse. Meanwhile, the best defense in the NFL this year may be second to Houston. Love our chances in the playoffs. I think that this is different than 2013's team. The defense being a strength compared to offense is the only similarity, but the 2000, I get what you're saying. The 2013 team, though, had completely different strengths offensively and weaknesses offensively. And same with defense, where this defense, I think, is headlined by its defensive front and by its defensive line, as opposed to a bunch of all-pros in the secondary. Not that they don't clearly have a bunch of Pro Bowlers in the secondary, literally. They also play a different defense, a different scheme, and a different head coach. Richard Sherman was on the This Is Football podcast with Kevin Clark and was asked, hey, if you could be plopped into the NFL right now on any defense, he said Houston's, because Houston's defense this year is more similar to what Seattle was running in 2013 as opposed to what Seattle's doing this year. That said, and also the 2013 Seahawks had a great run game. This year's is not doing that. I like the comparison in that it allows us to talk about what Sam Darnold is doing well this year, which is they are perfectly capable of having a pretty explosive pass game. It's taken a hit, especially with first half scoring over the last, 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 7, 8 weeks. But I think this is a more complete team. They're really complete. I'm not saying they're better than, I think the defense in 2013 was better. The run game was better in 2013, but it's a different league. And I like this. I think this is a very complete team.
So in 2013, Marshawn Lynch had 1,257 yards. As a team,
overlooked all the time.
They rushed for 2,188 yards. Right now, as a team, the Hawks are at 1,916 yards. There's a chance that they rush for the same amount of yards as a team. And let's not forget who Marshawn Lynch is. One of the best to do it. I ain't saying
run game
that this
different.
run game's just as good as no. It's different when you're running through somebody
I get what
and
you're
scoring
saying,
these
though.
touchdowns.
They're a little better than the people are giving them credit for.
They're better than what people think. They had 14 rushing touchdowns in 2013. They have 18 rushing touchdowns now. Still, that run game was better. And this is where numbers can jack you up sometimes. But I think it also can give you a perspective that the run game is not as explosive. You don't have the talent, but because they do it so much, so consistently, you're going to be able to put up numbers. In 2013, they rushed the ball 509 times. Now, this is a great comparison because they're both at 16 games right now, right? These stats that I'm reading from this year are at 16 games. Rush the ball 509 times. This year, they rushed it 468 times. So less times you ran the football, and your numbers are still comparable to what they did then. They averaged 4.3 yards per rush. This year, 4.1 yards per rush. It's different. The impact is different with Marshawn Lynch and with Russell Wilson running the football as well. He had about 500 yards. But the run game is moving in the right direction. It's not as sexy. It's not as explosive. It's not as consistent. You don't have that one horse you can just feed and feed and feed. But I have to remind myself that it's better than what I perceive it to be at times.
Fair point. Again, I think it just comes down to questions on offense. And you're right, perception. I pointed to my own perception about the run game, and then you pointed to all those stats. And then Sam Darnold. It's not fair to Sam, but, that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you were to ask people outside of Seattle who had no betting interest whatsoever, rooting interest in the Seahawks, they'd say, oh, Sam Darnold, he's never done it. Sam Darnold's going to collapse. Sam Darnold's going to hold him back. I think it's just the way people – I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying that, I think that a massive part of the reason people are not betting on the Seahawks to get to and win a Super Bowl is they have questions on offense, and answers on defense kind of get overlooked.
Yeah. Russell Wilson. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
Because it's fun.
Russell Wilson completed 63% of his passes. Right now, Sam's at 67 with more attempts, about 50 more attempts than Russell Wilson. Russell had 3,357 yards. Right now, Sam's at 3,850.
This is why I hate the Dilfer comparison.
Yeah. Russ had 26 touchdowns. Right now, Sam's at 25. This is where Russell wins. 9 interceptions to Sam's 14. Russell was sacked 44 times. Sam's been sacked 25 times. So,
yeah, neither was Trent Dilfer.
No, neither were Trent Dilfer.
You got a
Kill on that Trent Dilfer stuff.
Really solid quarterback situation. But can it withstand not making those mistakes against really good opponents? starting this Saturday, every team you play is going to be a playoff team, and a very, very good one at that. But I just love this conversation. All right, it's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, who should be mentioned more when it comes to MVP talks?
I know he's not going to get it. His team is garbage. But if Myles Garrett breaks the sack record, he should get some votes for MVP. I think Matthew Stafford deserves it. I think he's putting together a heck of a season. The Browns aren't a sexy pick, but they got 5 wins or something, 4 or 5 wins this year. But the way that Myles Garrett has been playing this year, I think he's been talked about, but probably not talked about enough. If he gets that record, he should already get some votes. But if he gets that record, he should get even more votes. It's just dominant the way that he plays. There's no player in the league like Myles Garrett. I'm just talked about DeMarcus Lawrence having a grown man play that we just broke down, but it's Myles Garrett. Just go ahead and watch some of his highlights and how this dude plays again.
I feel like it's continuing our theme of today's show, which is like defense is sometimes disrespected. Defense can change games. It can take you to and win championships, but sometimes gets overlooked, whether it's specific defensive players having record-breaking seasons or record-setting seasons. And you think about like how planning for him affected what the Steelers were able to do. The Steelers lost that game, I would argue, in part because they focused so much on just trying to take Myles Garrett out of it.
Yeah, facts.
Impressive. Second down. Let's get back to the Seahawks here. What felt noticeably different later in the game against the Panthers?
Special teams do not hit the same if Rashid is not in that game, man. It's not like we took him for granted, but we're just a bit spoiled. We're just like, it's so fun having him back there and feeling the potential of a return going to the house. No disrespect to Cam Akers, no disrespect to Tariq Young or Bobo or whoever was back there. He's the best returner in the game, and I think it's safe to say that he's the best returner in the game. And when you have a guy back there when you're on a special teams unit that you feel can take it to the house, it's not like you play a little harder, but it just feels different. All right, your angles are different. You feel like every play can be a home run. So as soon as he was out and whoever was returning, it just didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
It just felt like, all right, just possess the football and let's get the offense out there. When he's back there, I'm literally looking for lanes for him to go to the house every single time. So I doubt that he passes concussion protocol and plays on Saturday. That'd be unfortunate. But he's special, man. And I think that whoever has to replace him, possession is all we need at this point. Just possess the football. Don't turn it over.
Normal people don't have those burners.
No.
It's crazy. It's what makes him a Pro Bowler on special teams.
Yeah.
2 return touchdowns and just exceptional speed. That being said, are you still kind of hoping for him to be even more integrated into the offense?
Yeah, I am. I think because of what he can do with the football in his hands, you got to find ways to give him football. I put him on some of those crossing routes you put Jason on. He's ran some of them. You got to find him. Go ahead and take the top off some double moves. He should be the double move guy when it comes to taking those shots.
That bye week will help, right? Knock on wood.
Yep.
Third down. All right. Who needs a Super Bowl win this year, or he will never win one during his career?
If you don't get it this year, he ain't never winning it.
You better not say Josh Allen.
It's Joshua Allen.
Stop. You don't mean that.
I do. I really do. Because what's the biggest part or a big part of his game is his mobility. And that's the first to go as you age. Trust me, I know this, okay? I will not.
You're 40 now.
I'm just not the same. I used to be quick. But I say that because Pat Mahomes is out. We'll see if Lamar is going to play this weekend.
Lamar's going to get traded to the NFC.
Hey, and there's some things about Lamar I got to talk to you off air about. But this is it. This is his chance. And you just lost, 13-12 last night to Philly?
Yeah, that was a close one, though. I mean, he missed a wide open for 2 points and a win.
Yeah, this is it for Josh Allen.
He knew it, though.
I feel bad for him because I feel like he's going to be one of those greats, one of those great MVPs who never reaches the pinnacle. This is it for him. If he don't get it this year, and I don't think he's going to get it this year, he will never win a Super Bowl as a starter. He might be a backup somewhere later on in his career, but this is it.
Why would the same not be true for Lamar?
It might be true for him, too. Throw him in there, too. Throw him off in the
now he's going to this NFC team that I just claimed. But who would it be?
Who would trade for Lamar?
I mean, many, many teams would be interested, but I guess I should say, who would the Ravens actually trade him to? And there's already some people saying, oh, the columnist who wrote this just has it out for the Ravens and not well sourced, and even though he's been on the beat for forever.
The Panthers.
But what about Young? I mean, I know.
You're
I would rather
keep Young over Jackson?
No, I would not. But then what do you do with him? Number 1 overall pick.
Send him over to Baltimore with some picks. Start all over.
Okay.
That's the only team that I see that could possibly need a quarterback. I mean, maybe Arizona. Kyler Murray, get him up out of there.
I wonder what happens with Kyler Murray and where he goes.
I think Kyler Murray and Gannon are done.
Oh, yeah. Yes. 4th down. Holidays are a time to be spent with family. So what's something your son said this weekend that made you angry?
They edited what I wrote down.
I saw that.
Yeah.
For the best. Don't say that word.
Wyman says it all the time.
I know.
Wyman can say whatever he wants. We got to be so PC. I'm just playing, Wyman. I love you. He said, Dad, Derrick Henry's washed.
What?
I go, shut your face, son. You shut your mouth. It was before the actual game against the Packers. But I'm like, what are you talking about? Even before that, he still had 1,200 yards and like 12 touchdowns. These kids, man,
they don't get it.
They see someone with a 30-something in their age and just think it's over for them. He's no good. So then he went out and he balled out. And I called my son. I go, hey, man, what you say about Derrick Henry again?
What'd he say?
He was like, what did he do? He didn't even see the game. What did he do?
Oh, wow.
I go, no, he only went for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's it. Is he still washed? Lucky game. I go, son, I need you to watch more football and shut your mouth when you're talking to me, okay?
People just
I still
say
love
things.
you, though. I love you.
I love that he said it, but then didn't watch the game.
Yeah.
And it was...
Didn't watch the game. He's
What do you
washed.
mean, didn't
What are you
watch the
talking about,
game?
son? Because he's doing other stuff. You know, he's at the mall and doing all that stuff that kids do.
God, I guess. Washed. Yeah, kids, old people to them, I mean, once you get into the late 2s, I think to them, you're big. You know what I mean? The late 2. Once you get 27, 28, they're like, oh, wow, that's crazy at your big age.
Hey, text line has another suggestion. Lamar to the Dolphins, but it's in the same conference. I don't think they want to keep it in the same conference.
Well, that's why I was wondering, like, is there an NFC team that would? But I can't think of an NFC.
I think it has to be the Cardinals or the Panthers.
The Seahawks.
Nah. I would love it, but I'm good. That's my Sam. I'm going to stick by him.
They might trade in conference if they get enough. Certainly not in division. That would be insane.
Nah,
but
it's ridiculous.
In conference, maybe. I mean, Lions and Rams traded in conference.
Yeah.
Though I don't think that the Rams
the Rams gave up everything they had to get this dude.
Yeah, I don't. And that was actually a trade that worked out for both sides.
It did.
So it ended up being okay. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Rams and Falcons face off in the final game of Week 17 at 5:15 p.m. tonight on ESPN. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. That's coming up at 45 after 866-979-3776.
50 years of Seahawks football. Touchdown! Seahawks! 50 years of Mariners baseball. And Seattle sports has been there for the moments that built this city.
Hey, you, Helios Suarez, Grand Salami!
Now we're setting our own milestone. 50,000 YouTube subscribers before the year ends. Hit that number and we unlock a special YouTube-only giveaway. Join the celebration. Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube today.
Calling all Seahawks fans, this is Cliff Averill. I'm here to announce Away Game Rumble at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, sponsored by Corona and Modelo. Take football Sundays to the next level with a free viewing party at Galaxy for every away game. Count on giveaways, specials, big screens, big action, and so much more. Full details at muckleshootcasino.com/rumble. Don't miss Away Game Rumble only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Hey everyone, Bump here. If you have not seen Seattle U's men's basketball team play yet, now is your chance. See Wazoo, Gonzaga, St. Mary's take on the Red Hawks at Climate Pledge. Next up are the Cougs on December 30th. Grab your tickets at goseattleu.com/tickets.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Toyota of Kirkland is celebrating Toyotathon with an inventory sale down on all 2025 RAV4s, the vehicle that's built for adventure and designed for your everyday life. 2025 gas RAV4s, 2025 hybrid RAV4s, all 2025 RAV4s are available at Toyota of Kirkland this Toyotathon for an inventory sale down. Come check out their amazing showroom, the wonderful staff, get a test drive, and take that 2025 RAV4 home the same day. Stop in today or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show. It's the best time to buy. January 30th through February 7th with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show. You gotta cruise the Boat Show. You won't believe how cool it is. So bring the family.
Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025. Donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, this season, the San Francisco 49ers, Seattle's next opponent, are averaging 27.1 points per game. Bump, as you noted earlier, that's actually less than Seattle and the Rams. The Rams and Seattle, in that order, are number 1 and 2 in points per game. However, over the last 3, San Francisco is averaging 42 points per game. That puts them at number 1. Unfortunately, the Rams still top 2 there at number 2. But we don't need to talk about them. Instead, we're talking about San Francisco, what we've seen now in back-to-back primetime games. I'm just looking, I know I said over the last 3 weeks, I'm just looking at the last 2 primetime games. So against Sunday night against the Bears and then Monday night against the Colts. Just talking about what's standing out, what we're noticing. I know, for instance, that you mentioned Brock Purdy looking confident.
Yeah, Purdy, he's back. He's looking good. He had, 5... Was that against the Colts? Yeah, 5 touchdown passes against the Colts. 1 interception. It was a career high for that young man. Then last night he had 3 of them things, I believe. Let me double check my sources. Yes. So the last 2 games he's had 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Don't like that.
And the sneaky part about Brock Purdy is his mobility. He's mobile. He's not a guy who's going to rush for 100 yards, anything like that. But he's going to buy time, make plays, escape the rush. He's a good quarterback, man. And I think when he played us back in week 1, I remember the feeling of frustration because we just couldn't get him down on the ground. He was only sacked 1 time against us. He only had 5 rushes for 17 yards, but it's more about him just buying himself time. And then we got to see if Kittle's going to be back, because the last time we played the Niners, didn't Kittle go out early that game too? I think he went out early that game. So will Kittle be back? We don't know.
All we know is from the broadcast. So we have no updates about either of these teams health-wise. I know that during the broadcast they were like, Kittle expects to play, but TBD what that means, especially since it's going to be Saturday. However, speaking of Kittle, one thing I wanted to bring up that's standing out to me, this was more obvious against Chicago. However, it was the case in both, and it's just like those passes over the middle and the way that they've been able to get Tonjes involved. He was your go-ahead touchdown, unfortunately, in week 1. And I remember thinking, I'd never heard of him before. How do you say his name? How do I make sure I get this right? He popped up again in a big way, filling in for Kittle in this one against the Bears, 7 of 9 for 60 yards and a touchdown. I think just the way that they're using these weapons and sometimes just the precision that it feels like Brock Purdy has. I mean, these are some pretty notable pickups. It'll be 15 yards at a time, 17 yards at a time, 18 yards at a time, 12 yards at a time. Is that like a middle of the field, that's where you're attacking? Is that making the most of your weapons? Is it Shanahan's offense?
It's the system. It's the system. Mac Jones came in, knew the system, ran it. Brock Purdy, who did he beat out? Was it Jimmy?
Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, who got hurt.
Trey Lance. And then Brock comes in and kind of does his thing. It's the system. The fact that we have Tonjes, is that how you say his name? Tonjes out there doing his thing. No disrespect. He's in the NFL. He's a good athlete. But it shows you the system works, man. And if you just pay attention and you take the right notes and you practice hard, Shanahan's going to trust you and put you in position. So it's obviously a mix of everything. You got to have some talent out there as well. But we've had Pearsall have big games for the 49ers. Juwan Jennings has had big games. When Ayuk was there, he had it. The system just works. And it's all about manipulation. The Niners system, Rams, Seahawks, they're similar and different at the same time. When you think about JSN, most of his bigger plays are working across the field at an angle. He does go straight up the field at times, but it's working across the field. In both of these systems, you use motions to overload, to play action. You hit flats, you get eyes this way, the overlap and have routes going the other way. The system just works because if you're playing a zone, it forces you to communicate and pass routes through the zone. If you're playing man, it's hard. When we spoke to Jason, I told him, I think you're the best deep cross runner in the game. And even he said it, when he's running diagonally, he doesn't think anybody can stay with him. It's because the options that you have running diagonally. The way I was talking to Moyer about this, when I was running a deep cross and I had, or anything cross, anything horizontal, and I had a DB on my hip in man, I can affect him and move him better than if I was running vertically up the field, because you get to a certain spot when you're running vertical to where DBs to start eliminating routes. You get past 5 yards, all right, he's not going to run a slant. You get past 10 yards, all right, now I'm looking post, curl, come back, dig. All right, get 15, all he got is a post and a go at this point. And as a route runner, there's only so much I can do to try to influence you. When you're going across the field, I can flatten it out. I can keep it vertical. I can stop. I can bring it back the other way. I can stop in the middle. There's just so many things I can do. So during my route or during JSN routes, I'll use him as an example. He'll do a radical movement, right? I'm running diagonally, and I just take a hard step with my right foot. He's got to react. There's nothing on the field that says, okay, he's all out of options now. I'm only out of options when I get to the other sideline, right? So I'm working 53 yards across the field, and I have all these options at my disposal, and I can influence you. That's part of what I think makes these offenses great, is that those diagonals, those horizontals, those deep crosses, DBs can't eliminate routes so quickly. And then if you're running through zone, it's harder for these DBs and these safeties to communicate and pass these off.
McCaffrey's definitely been part of that too. Let's talk about him just as a rusher. He's got over 100 against the Colts and Bears in these last two games that we're talking about. Seattle kept him in check in week 1. It was Ricky Purcell that kind of burned them on some deep completions that ended up moving the chains and was pivotal to their win. I'm wondering if Seattle is once again able to limit McCaffrey on the ground. If there was a defense I was picking to do it, it would be the Seahawks run defense, which hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher now in 25 games. But McCaffrey is very good and very versatile.
He's coming off a $140 against Chicago, 117 against Indy. Against us in week 1, 69 yards rushing, but he did have 73 yards passing. If there's one guy who can go off, it's him. Like, you can't have Christian McCaffrey go off, George Kittle go off if he's there, and then Tonjes go off as well. It's impossible to completely stop George Kittle. I'm trying to find his worst game this year. Okay, the Rams did it. 30 yards rushing, still got over 100 yards, 66 yards receiving. I'm trying to find him. All right, Houston, 25 yards rushing.
There are no bad games.
43 yards receiving. All right, that's as bad as it gets for him. All right, over about 70 yards of total offenses. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and watch that game. I'm going to see what Houston did. He only had 8 carries. He might have left that game early. He only had 8 carries and only had 6 targets. Everyone just can't go off. If there's someone who's liable to go for over 100 total and you could still win this ball game, it's Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, so the offense, for sure, from San Francisco has stood out to me and been the most obvious strength, the most obvious thing over the last 2 games in primetime. Again, I'm just isolating it to the primetime games where we've all gotten kind of a front row seat. They've also allowed 65 points over those 2 games. I'm not saying the 49ers aren't a very good opponent. I'm not saying Week 18 won't be tough. I am saying that Seattle's defense is not the Colts defense, is not the Bears defense. Now, the Bears are number 1 in takeaways. Like, neither of these defenses are full of scrubs, right? Both defenses are good. The Colts were better, have struggled with corner play. And then the Bears are great with takeaways, but have still gotten burned before. I just think that Seattle is a better defense than both of these. And I have a hard time. I know that they gave up a ton of yards against the Rams, but I have a hard time thinking that the 49ers are moving down the field quite as easily against Seattle.
They better not. You got one of the best defenses in the game. I'm curious to see how Mike Macdonald decides to attack. Right? Are you aggressive like you were against, who was the game before us?
The Rams, before the Panthers.
Oh, the Rams. No, aggressive against the Rams, like you were against the Rams early? Or you kind of show you simulated pressure and only rush 4 against the Panthers? Like, how are you going to attack this? Because I think the 49ers have the capability to have an answer for anything, and that's going to be the factor, man. It's about this defense. Sam's going to turn the ball over one time, at least, against the Niners. I would love for him not to, but odds are that he's going to turn the ball over one time. Where does it happen? When does it happen? And can this defense do enough to slow down this dynamic offense that we're seeing? No shootouts. I don't want a shootout. I want a good old 24-17 type of game.
If we get enough pressure, says the 5-2-0 on Purdy, we can win. Yeah. I think more pressure always helps, no matter what. I I am just reminding myself that Seattle's defense is very, very good, and the offense has been perfectly fine. I think the offense has been good. They've not been great, but, like, all right. I think they can hang with the 49ers. The first meeting was 17-13. I'm not expecting 42-38. I'm expecting, like you said, low 20s.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm thinking for
It's
this
so traditional.
Anything else standing out to you and now watching back-to-back primetime games for San Francisco?
It's their energy. They believe in themselves.
Oh, they
right
definitely. Well, and they believe in themselves and have kind of like an anger that everyone else didn't. In
They
which case,
have a chip on their shoulder right now.
you know what? Seattle should have one as well. Most people picked them to finish 4th in the division after moving on from Geno and DK.
Yep.
Perfectly. The 49ers have been division winners more frequently or recently than you have. They were Super Bowl Super Bowl favorites entering the season. Them and the Rams were betting favorites. So
It's about to go down.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. We're going to be previewing this all week long, including for the huddle, which is going to be on Wednesday this week. Get your questions in for what I need to know, 866-979-3776.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
Seahawks are going to play for the NFC West title, the #1 seed, and a first-round bye.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers, Saturday. Kickoff at 5. Pregame at 2.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets the Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafeet from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gage Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the socks of all those people in
today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I need to know, earlier, you guys mentioned the Seahawks are the second highest scoring team in the third quarter. What can we read into that? I would like to say two things, Bump. One, yesterday, they were the second highest scoring third quarter team. They are now the highest because they dropped 14 in the third quarter and Buffalo was ahead of them and then did not do that. So they're scoring the most points in the third quarter of any team. I'll throw the second one your way, which is, what can we read into that?
That they collected data from the first quarter, they make slight adjustments, and they go out there and they execute. They fill you out, throw a few punches, a few jabs, go back to the corner, come out swinging, and just make good adjustments.
That's a good one. Fill in the blank, says one listener. Sam Darnold is blank.
Sam Darnold is...
I said enough during the break, and Curtis made fun of me.
I mean, that's...
You are enough, Sam.
I think that's
but you know
it,
what
though.
I'm saying?
Good enough. How's that?
He's enough. He's enough with this team. Sam Darnold has turned the ball over in games that should have cost them, and it didn't because he has made plays at other points in the game, and also the defense is great. So the turnovers are a problem.
It's good enough.
But this team has 3 losses.
You're good enough.
You're enough. You are enough.
You're okay.
You are enough.
You are
Sam
enough.
Darnold.
That's what I tell myself. You are enough, Sam Darnold. I say that in the mirror to myself every day. What I need to know: do flats or drumettes make a better chicken wing?
Drum.
Yeah, the answer's drumettes.
Yeah.
Although I think boneless wings are actually the best, which many people would disagree with.
Nuggets, but
They are chicken nuggets.
Boneless wings. We have advanced as a society to a place where we don't need bones in wings. And I embrace technology as a forward thinker.
You're a pioneer.
Thank you. The answer is boneless wings are the best.
Child.
Followed by drumettes. And distant third place is flats.
Do you still leave some meat on the bone? Because I.
With boneless wings? Well, that's why I don't like.
Because there are people that eat chicken wings that leave a ton on the bone.
I'm one of those people.
You're wasting.
No, I'm one of those people. Because sometimes the meat is confusing. It's got stuff that's like too chewy to be just meat, and it's like, am I eating part of the bone? I'm more weirded out by people that clean off the entire bone. Are you a dog? What are we doing? That's crazy. If I look at your plate of wings and it's only bones, like a little graveyard, I think you're insane. Oh my God, that's what you guys do,
Or you got that dog in you. Yeah.
Pretty clean.
I think as a show, we all agree drumettes, though. We need to come up with boneless drumettes.
I like that you can, hold the drumette in one hand. With the flats, you got to use two.
Yeah. These flats are dumb.
It's a lot
You're messy.
more maneuvering.
Yeah. I just think we've evolved past them. What I need to know. If you were the kid that didn't make the team because Air Bud took that last roster spot, how would you move on with life?
I'd completely stop playing sports.
I'd transfer schools.
Just like imagine they're like the dog over you because you were so bad at basketball.
Well, the dog beat a bunch of kids out, honestly.
Were you ever not?
You know what? We're going to make our own team.
Were you ever not picked first for sports?
Can't remember. Can't remember.
That means no.
I was usually the captain. I was doing the picking.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact about Air Bud.
Yeah.
Set in the fictitious town of Fernfield, Washington.
Really?
I didn't know it was set in Washington.
The Air Bud Golden Receiver, the football one.
Yeah.
At the very end, there is a cameo of Joey Galloway and Warren Moon in their Seahawks uniforms. Dead serious. Dead serious.
I wonder if the Seahawks tried to sign him.
I don't know
You
if we
wouldn't
can get
even
him.
need sticky
Yeah.
gloves if you were a dog.
I used to hate seeing everybody catch that ball all flat and stuff. Like, come on, man.
You're screaming at your TV. Where's the realism?
It's horrible technique.
This is so fake, Mom. This is so fake.
Let's see. What I need to know. How are our Hawks doing with this one receiver? I don't know, listener, you're going to need to text in. What do you think? Someone said I can still change. There's hope for me yet. I don't know. What I need to know, Disneyland or Disney World?
Never been to Disney World.
I've never been to either.
I've been to both.
Are they kind of interchangeable?
No, Disney World's
World's
like
on.
4 or 5 parks in one.
What's the one where Casey Anthony lied about working at?
Disney World. She's Florida. Why is that your go-to reference to
Why isn't it?
differentiate?
Why is that
between the two?
not yours? All I know is one of them was advertised in the beginning of every Disney movie ever when the kids are like, shh, get up. Oh my God, we're going. And they're like packing and the parents are like, no, that's in 6 months. You know?
No.
I would say if you want to do one of those parks
And then
in
one
like,
Casey Anthony lied about.
if you only have a day or two to visit one of those parks, go to Disneyland. If you want to carve out a whole week, go to Disney World. Because there's just so much at Disney World.
Yeah, that's what I said. What I need to know, are you comfortable at this moment saying Sam Darnold is the Seahawks franchise quarterback?
For the duration of his contract.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's definitely back next year, for sure.
What I need to know, tailor-made, Titleist, Ping, or PXG?
I was a tailor-made guy. I've switched over to Titleist.
Remember when I told you I thought it was Fitlist?
Yeah. I mean, I can see where
You can
would
see
think
because
that.
the T looks like an F.
Yeah. I can
It's
see
not
that.
Fitlist.
It's not. It's Titleist.
Yeah. Then I had to be careful how I pronounced it.
Say it quickly.
Yeah. 866-979-3776. Bump, are you doing Thursdays at Bellevue Square this week?
We're done, son.
Yeah.
Done for the year. Only do like 14 of them, I think.
People are just texting in about Air Bud. Enough about Air Bud. Back to Coach of the Year, says another listener. Let's not overlook the fact that Mike Macdonald took over a heavily declining Seahawks team. All due respect to Pete Carroll.
heavily declining.
I just think that the Seahawks were a very average team.
Yeah.
And I think that what he's done is amazing, but maybe something that people in football appreciate more than fans.
Yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't call it. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Well, no, because I think that people are going to look at like, oh, the Jags, they have 4 wins, or the Patriots have 4 wins, and it feels much more obvious to them.
You guys are crazy.
About what?
About life. Just keep living it today, folks. It's been great.
Wyman and Bob coming up next.
50 years of Seahawks football. Touchdown! Seahawks! 50 years of Mariners baseball. And Seattle sports has been there for the moments that built this city.
Hey, Eugenio Suarez, grand salami!
Now we're setting our own milestone. 50,000 YouTube subscribers before the year ends. Hit that number and we unlock a special YouTube-only giveaway. Join the celebration. Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube today.
Good Dog Auto Glass.
When the stakes are high, you want the best on your team. When your windshield breaks, don't settle for your insurance company's fix that's just safe enough. Trust Good Dog Auto Glass, where the quality isn't light. We do all the things the little guys don't, and we do all the things the big guy does.
We answer the phone when you call, we work for you, and we will walk you through the insurance process. Visit GoodDogAutoGlass.com, Puget Sound's most trusted auto glass company, and get more bang for your bark.
Want to make 2026 your year of adventure? Book that trip and learn a new language with Babbel. Go ahead, make a resolution you can stick to. Now is the time. Babbel's New Year sale is here. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with the lifetime subscription for 65% off. Just go to Babbel.com and start today. Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases, so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And because Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember, you'll be talking like a local in time for takeoff. Dive into the world of language learning content with Babbel's videos, podcasts, and stories from around the world, full of culture bites and language learning tips. Turn your daydream into a destination this year with Babbel. But don't wait. This offer ends January 15th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building, with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Attention homeowners, upgrade your home's comfort and save big. For a limited time, save up to 75% on scratch and dent and overstock equipment exclusively at Home Comfort Alliance. Over $3 million worth, all up to 50% off, including high-efficiency, dependable heat pumps, furnaces, and air conditioners from top manufacturers like Lennox, all with full factory and installation warranties. Up to 50% off for all your heat